Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Benny is in New York City, and in exactly 30 minutes, he'll be doing his television show. But let me take you back a few days to Beverly Hills, where we find Jack at home getting ready for the trip.
Oh, Rochester.
Yes, boss.
Rochester, we'll be away 12 days, so I hope you've taken care of all the little details. Huh?
As usual, I had the gas, electricity, and water turned off, and I left a note for the milkman to stop delivery.
Good. What about the evening paper?
I left instructions on that, too.
You did?
Yeah, now when they're through with it, the Colmans can just throw it away.
Good.
Boss, maybe you ought to stop borrowing the Colmans paper. I got a feeling they're trying to discourage the practice.
What makes you say that?
The last two issues came wrapped around their garbage.
What?
That tea bag Dick Tracy was holding last night was real.
No kidding. Now take, Rochester, take my grips out to the car while I call Miss Livingston.
Is Miss Livingston going with us?
No, but she's feeling much better and she'll be on our next show. It's Miss Livingston's sister I'm picking up.
Her sister, babe?
Yeah, she's going back to Plainfield on the same train we're taking. I'm gonna call her.
Hello?
Hello, Mary?
No, this is Miss Livingston's maid.
Oh, Pauline. Oh, this is Jack Benny. I didn't recognize your voice.
Well, it has been a long time.
That's right. Not since New Year's Eve.
Oh, you've taken me out since then.
Oh, yes, that drive-in movie. What a picture, huh?
Yeah. That was the first time I ever saw a picture at that drive-in.
You were never there before?
I didn't say that.
Well, the reason I called, I'm coming by to pick up Babe in my car. Put her on the phone, will you?
Okay. It's for you, ma'am.
Thank you, Pauline. Hello? Hello?
Look, mister, get off the party line till I
Jack!
Come on, get off.
Jack, it's me, Babe.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, Babe, I just called... Babe, I just called to tell you I'll pick you up in 15 minutes.
Couldn't you make it a half hour? I'm all ready, but I have to put on my lipstick.
Well, why should that take a half hour?
Well, it's a special lipstick, and it takes longer to put on.
Oh.
But it's worth it. I've been using it for 12 years, and it doesn't smear.
Oh, is it kiss-proof?
Who knows?
You read that beautifully. Well, try and hurry. Rochester's getting the car out now.
Okay, Jack. I'll rush it. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Rochester, we'll pick up Miss Livingston's sister in about 15 minutes.
Are we going to pick up Mr. Harris, too?
No, he's going with his piano player, Charlie Bagby. I hope they're not late.
You got everything packed, Bagby? Yeah, Maestro. Well, in less than an hour, Bagby, we'll be on that super cheap going to New York.
We've been on so many trains. Which one is the super cheap?
Well, you ought to remember the super cheap. That's the one you fell off.
No. That was a cheap.
You better wait for laughs, kid. No, Bagby, the cheap is the one they threw you off. Or was it the El Capitan?
No, the El Capitan is the one they wouldn't let me on.
Oh, yeah.
Say, Phil, how much money are you taking along for expenses?
I don't know.
How come you don't know?
I don't know how much money I'm going to take. Alice hasn't given it to me yet.
Oh.
Look, Bagby, you know something? You ought to get married, too.
Me?
Yeah, you ought to settle down and give up your bad habits like gambling, staying out half the night and drinking.
What are you trying to do? Ruin my character?
Well, it's too late for your character, but there still may be a fighting chance for your liver.
I guess so. You know, Phil, it's too bad Remley couldn't make the trip with us.
Yeah, I thought he'd be over that virus by now.
Well, it's his own fault. He shivered and shook for 3 days. Why didn't he call a doctor?
Well, he didn't know it was virus. He thought it was the usual thing. Well, let's see. I wonder if I got everything.
Are you taking any books along to read on the train?
Books? No, I'm off books.
Why?
Well, I just finished the one I started last January, and I was kind of disappointed in it.
What's the matter? Was it dull?
No, it was exciting enough, but it was unbelievable. Imagine a giant living in a beanstalk.
Hey, that's the book you borrowed from me. When are you going to get it back?
You'll get it back. You'll get it back. I want to look at them pictures again. Now, come on, Bagby. Let's get going, huh?
Sorry I kept you waiting, Jack.
Oh, that's all right, babe. It gave me a chance to talk to Mary. She feels pretty good now, doesn't she?
Yeah, she'll probably be back in your show next week.
I hope so. She needs the money. Well, there's the car. Oh, babe, let me help you. Let me help you with your trunk, will you?
Thanks.
Gee, it's heavy. There. Now take it easy so it won't fall off your shoulder. Easy.
Now steer me to the car.
Certainly. Now watch it. Don't laugh, the trunk will fall off. A little to the left, a little to the right. Now just dump it in the back seat there. There we are. Now let's get in the car. Start the motor, Rochester.
Yes, sir.
Rochester, I can't understand that motor. Maybe there's some dirt on the spark plug.
There must be. There's some beautiful flowers growing there.
Darn this spring weather. Start the motor again, Rochester.
Yes, sir.
Well, there we are. Now we're on our way.
Jack, do we have to stop and pick up anyone else?
No, Phil is coming with Bagby, and Dennis is driving down with his mother.
Dennis, did you tell the cab driver where to go?
Yes, Mother, the Union Station.
Well, I hope we don't miss the train. What time is it?
It's exactly 1:15. Now it's 1:20.
That's the meter! Now, Dennis, remember what I told you. I want you to take good care of yourself while you're in New York. Watch out for pickpockets.
Oh, don't worry, Mother. I pin my money to my underwear. A little trick I learned from Mr. Benny.
Mr. Benny pins his money to his underwear?
Yeah, when he takes off his shirt, he looks like an artichoke.
I can imagine. Now, Dennis, what hotel are you going to stay at in New York?
Oh, the one Mr. Benny always takes me to, the Acme Plaza.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Dennis. You don't have to live at that dump just because Mr. Benny stays there.
Oh, I like the Acme Plaza, Mother. It's such fun. They play a wonderful game every morning.
Game?
Uh-huh. All the guests gather in the lobby and draw straws to see who's first in the bathroom. You know, Mother, I'm really excited about going to New York. This time I'm going to visit all my friends.
You have friends in New York? Who?
Well, there's Brannigan, Flanagan, Milligan, Gilligan, Duffy, McCuffy, Malarkey, Mahone, Rafferty, Lafferty, Donnelly, Connolly, Julie...
Now, Dennis, it's all right to... Driver, turn around and watch where you're going.
Oh, please, lady, I only turn around because I recognize your son. He's my favorite singer.
Oh, isn't that sweet? Dennis, sing for the nice man.
Yes, Mother.
Oh, driver, you come back here and listen. I'll take the wheel.
Okay, Rochester, the light changed. You can go now.
Yes, sir.
Jack, why don't you buy a new car?
I'll tell you why, babe, because they don't make cars today like they used to.
What do you mean?
Well, for instance, take a simple matter like the steering wheel. Today they make them out of plastic. But the steering wheel on this car is made out of seasoned mahogany with solid steel spokes.
Really?
Yeah, here, take a look.
Put that back on! For goodness sakes, Rochester, just tend to your driving.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Jack, I meant to ask you, who are you having on your television show?
Gee, you read that beautifully. Do it again, babe. I want you to get used to radio. Go ahead.
Hey, Jack, I meant to ask you, who are you having on your television show?
Well, babe, I managed to get 3 great guest stars. I'm having Claudette Colbert, Robert Montgomery, and Basil Rathbone.
Gee, that's wonderful. How did you get them to appear with you on television?
I sent them a telegram and signed it Senator Kefauver. And you know, babe, on Thursday, I'm going to be on the radio show Suspense. Gee, I'm so tickled. A blowout.
Rochester, aren't you going to fix it?
If we stop with those silly things, we never get anywhere.
Rochester, you better stop the car.
Jack, I'm afraid we'll be late. Look what time it is, 2:45.
That's the meter.
Yeah. Turn it off, Rochester. It's only us. We got plenty of time. Now stop the car and we'll change the tires. Well, we finally got to the station, babe. Let's go in.
Train now leaving on track 5 for Anaheim, Azusa, and Cucamonga.
Come on, babe.
Gee, I'm ashamed to go on the train the way I look. Fixing that tire ruined my outfit.
Yes, there is a little grease on your T-shirt there.
Correction, please. The train scheduled to stop at Anaheim, Azusa, and Cucamonga will only go to Anaheim and Azusa. Cucamonga was moved on account of the freeway.
Say, babe, you wait here in case any of the gang shows up. I'm going to get a couple of magazines.
Okay, Jack.
Let's see. What magazine should I get? Don, excuse me. I better get back to Babe. No.
Attention, please. Train now leaving on track 8 for Barstow, Albuquerque, Kansas City, Chicago, and Cucamonga. They really moved it.
Babe, did you see any of our gang?
No, did you?
Only Don, and he was in a hurry.
Hiya, bud. Long time no see.
Huh? Oh, hello. Come on, babe.
Who was that?
Oh, that's that tout. He must have been here for the Santa Anita races. Oh, look, here comes Dennis and his mother. Hello, Mrs. Day.
Hello. Now, Mr. Benny, once my boy gets on that train, he's your responsibility.
I know.
And when you get to New York, I want you to take better care of Dennis than you did the last time. Don't be taking him to that place called Minsky's.
Minsky's?
Why, Jack, you didn't take Dennis to a burlesque show.
Babe, Minsky's happens to be the name of a delicatessen. Isn't that right, Dennis?
Yes, sir.
See?
Oh, Mr. Benny.
Yes?
Remember that third salami from the end?
What? Now, come on, kid. Let's all get on the train.
Wait a minute, Jack. I want to get some chewing gum.
Some chewing gum? I'll get it for you, babe. You wait right here. I mustn't forget to get my ticket validated, too. I'll do it right after I...
Bun.
Huh?
Come here a minute.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Look, fella.
Where are you going?
I'm going to buy some chewing gum.
What kind?
Spearmint. What?
Get bubble gum.
Bubble gum? Why?
It's great in the stretch.
Well, I don't know. What about chiclets?
Chiclets haven't got a chance.
Why not?
They're boxed in.
But I like chiclets.
Now be smart, Bud, and take bubble gum. Just look at the breeding.
The breeding?
Yeah. It's by penny on a slot machine.
Oh, well, I don't care about that. I'm going to get spearmint.
Okay, it's your dough.
Gee, look what time it is. I won't have time. I'll get some gum on the train.
Hey, Jackson!
Huh? Oh, hello, Phil. I'm glad you got here in time. What's that you're carrying under your arm?
Bagby?
So soon?
Oh, he's sober. I owe him this for carrying me last night.
Oh, well, you better get him on the train.
Hey, Jackson, by the way, you forgot to get Bagby's ticket.
I did?
Yeah.
Well, here's mine. I'll get myself another one. I'll see you on the train.
Attention, please. Will passengers who just arrived on the train from Catalina please get in your taxis? You're dripping all over the station.
Now, let's see. Oh, here's the ticket window. Oh, pardon me. Are you the ticket clerk here?
Yeah. I used to be at Pasadena, but they moved me on account of the freeway.
That's very funny.
Thank you.
Attention, please. He stole that joke from me.
Now, look, clerk. Now, let's not have any trouble here. I want a ticket to New York.
Return trip?
No, one way.
Good.
Now, cut that out. I'm coming back by plane. So just do what
Excuse me, sir, but may I go ahead of you? I'm in a hurry.
Well, yes, I guess so.
Well, you see, I'm just going on my vacation for 3 weeks, and I don't want to waste a minute of it. Clerk, will you give me a ticket?
Yes, sir. Where to?
Oh, I don't care. Any place is all right with me.
Well, the next train out is going to Nashville, Tennessee.
No, not there. I don't want to go back to that state again.
Why not? What happened there?
Well, I'll tell you. I was dancing with my darling to the Tennessee Waltz when an old friend I happened to see.
And you introduced him to your loved one?
Yes. And while they were waltzing, my friend stole my sweetheart from me.
Well, why don't you try to forget?
Forget? I remember the night in the Tennessee Waltz. Now I know just how much I have lost.
Look, mister.
You keep out of it. Just what did you lose?
Well, I lost my little darling the night they were playing the beautiful Tennessee Waltz.
Well, what are you crying for? You're number one on the hit parade.
I told you to keep out of it.
I'm sorry.
Well, look, how about a ticket to Banff?
Oh, yes, that'll be swell.
Oh, you'll enjoy it there. It's very close to Lake Louise.
Oh, no. I can't go there.
Why not?
Louise was the name of my little darling. Oh, the one I was dancing with to the Tennessee Waltz when an old friend I happened
Look,
to...
one chorus is enough. Now, clerk, give me my ticket, will you?
Attention, please. The following trains are now ready to depart. The Super Chief, the El Capitan, the City of Los Angeles, the Golden State Limited, and the Lark. There they go. Super Chief out in front. City of Los Angeles is second. Capitan is third. The Lark is fourth, and Golden State Limited.
What is this?
Going into the turn, it's still Super Chief by a headlight. The Lark is second by a dining car. El Capitan is third by 3 compartments in the bedroom. And coming up past the City of Los Angeles on the rail.
What is this, anyway?
Coming into the half, Super Chief is still out in front. City of Los Angeles is second by a Colman, and coming up in third place is the Lark, with the engineer using the whip, and coming up fast on the outside is Mary's Sister Bay.
Rochester, I've got to get out on stage to do my television show in 30 seconds. Now hurry up and finish making me up.
Boss, I'm just putting a little more Maybelline on you.
Why?
Those baby blue eyes don't look good with gray lashes.
Oh, yes. Good night, folks.
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Barry Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, last week our little star was in New York for his television show, but today he's back home again. So let's go out to Jack Benny's house in Beverly Hills. As we look in the window, we see Rochester in the midst of spring cleaning.
Oh, hello, Bobby.
Get to work.
I'm working. I was working with my dust rag to the Tennessee wall. I was working.
Good morning, Rochester.
Oh, hello, boss, to the Tennessee. Oh, good morning, boy. I let you sleep a little late. I thought you might be tired from your trip.
Well, I was a little.
I didn't get a chance to ask you, how did your television show go in New York?
Oh, fine, Rochester. It's going to be shown here tonight at 7:30 on Channel 2.
CBS.
That's right, Paley. I mean, Polly. Rochester, give her a cracker. Tell me, Polly, did you miss Daddy while he was gone?
My heart cried for you.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
You know, boss, I think Polly really did miss you. She didn't even lay an egg the whole time you were gone.
Is that right, Polly? You didn't lay an egg all the time Daddy was away? And I was gone 10 days.
One down and 9 to go.
Thanks, Polly. Polly, there's no hurry. Don't strain yourself. Gee, Rochester, it's really good to be home again.
Boss, how come you were gone so long on this trip?
Well, on the way back from New York, I stopped off at my hometown, Waukegan, for a visit. Gosh, what memories. I saw all my old schoolmates, Cliff Gordon, Julius Sinekin, Jerome Morrison.
Oh, yes, I've heard you mention them.
You know, Rochester, it's amazing how time flies. Most of the people who were my age in school now have children who are my age. You know, I can't understand it.
You must have gotten a kick out of that, boss, going back to your hometown and meeting all your old friends.
Oh, it was a thrill. I even met the kid I had my first fist fight with. I met her husband, too. They make such a nice couple. You know?
By the way, Mr. Benny, did you see Fred Allen while you were in New York?
Fred Allen? Yes, Rochester, and I want to tell you. You know, I met him with a crowd of people at a big cocktail party, and Fred really must be having an awfully tough time.
Well, how do you know?
He picked my pocket. Imagine.
What'd he get? 3
hors d'oeuvres. Personally, I think...
Well, a daily double.
Holly, take it easy. You've got all day. Well, Rochester, you finish your spring cleaning, and I'll get it. Oh, hello, Dennis.
Hello, Mr. Benny.
Come on in.
Gee, Mr. Benny, I saw your television show last Sunday, and it was wonderful. You were absolutely sensational. I never saw anything like it. Boy, did I laugh.
Well, thanks very... Wait a minute, Dennis. The television show I did last week could only be seen in the East. My show wasn't even on out here.
Me and my big mouth.
What?
I didn't want you to know I missed it.
Well, anyway, Dennis, it was nice of you to be so considerate. But you know something? You'll be able to see my television show tonight.
Who wants to see it?
What?
You couldn't be as good as I said you were.
Dennis, you drive me crazy. Anyway, you're going to stay home and watch my show. Now, Robert Montgomery's on it and Basil Rathbone, and there's a girl, too. You know who she is? Dennis, I didn't tell you who the girl is. Why did you whistle?
When you're as young as I am, you don't wait for names.
Well, you're going to wait for this one because this girl happens to be Claudette Colbert.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Well, I'll watch your show, Mr. Benny, but I really ought to go and visit my uncle.
Your uncle? What's the matter? Is he sick?
No.
Well, I'm glad of that.
He's in jail.
In jail? Dennis, what's your uncle in jail for?
Perjury. He's an awful liar.
Perjury? What jail is he in?
Tehachapi.
Maybe tomorrow. Wait a minute. Dennis, Tehachapi is a woman's jail. How come your uncle is there?
I told you he's an awful liar. You better sing, kid.
Yes, I should say so. You better. That was wonderful, Dennis. I enjoyed it very much.
Why don't you buy one of my records sometime? Victor, 85 cents.
Dennis.
If you can plug your television show, I can plug my records.
Never mind. I've got a right to plug. I get it. Hello?
Mr. Jack Benny, please.
This is Jack Benny.
I have a long-distance call for you from Palm Springs.
From Palm Springs? Put 'em on.
It's collect. Mr. Benny! Mr. Benny!
Operator, what happened?
I don't know. I must have said a dirty word.
Well, operator, you call Mr. Benny back and tell him it's Mary Livingston. Tell him that I'm in a phone booth and have no change.
Yes, ma'am. Say, are you the Mary Livingston who works for Mr. Benny?
Uh-huh.
How can you afford to be in Palm Springs?
I get a small pension from the May Company. Now, please get me Mr. Benny again.
Yes, ma'am, I'll try.
Hello?
Now, Mr. Benny, be calm.
Operator, I'm not...
Jack!
Huh? Oh, Mary, it's you. Gee, it's good to hear your voice again. If I'd have known it was you, I would have accepted the charges immediately. How do you feel?
Fine.
Goodbye. Oh, I'm sorry, Mary. I got all excited, but I'm certainly glad that you're well again and all over your flu. Are you having any fun in Palm Springs?
Not much. Last night I went to a party and it was awfully dull.
Oh, who was there?
Van Johnson, Alan Ladd, Gregory Peck, and Clark Gable.
And you found the party dull? Who else was there?
Mrs. Van Johnson, Mrs. Alan Ladd, Mrs. Gregory Peck, and Mrs. Clark Gable.
Oh.
Them wives wouldn't have stopped me, kiddo.
Operator, you keep out of this. Brenda, gee, Mary, it's gonna be great, though, having you back on the program. We sure missed you.
Well, thanks, Jack, but I thought my sister Babe did a wonderful job when she took my place.
Oh, she was great, Mary, great, especially when you consider the fact that she had no radio experience.
What do you mean, no experience? Babe's been on the radio before. She was on that program called 20 Questions.
Oh.
And she made a fortune.
How?
They couldn't guess whether she was animal, vegetable, or mineral.
Now, Mary, you can stop kidding. I think Babe is a wonderful girl. And I enjoyed having her on the train with me when I went to New York.
Well, Jack, I'm glad she went with you. You know, she'd never been on a train before.
Oh, well, how'd she come to California?
She drove out with Mom and Papa.
Oh, by car, huh? What are you laughing at?
Poor Babe. When they were stopped for a plant inspection, the man thought she was a Joshua tree.
A Joshua? Oh, then she's vegetable. I must tell her.
Do you mind if I stop listening? I'm getting sick.
Operator, I told you.
I better hang up now, Jack.
Okay, man, wait a minute. When will you be coming back to town?
Wednesday.
Good. How about us having dinner together that night?
Oh, Jack, it'll be my first day home. I won't feel like cooking.
Oh. Well, then we'll make it some other time. Maybe Friday.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
It'll be good to have Mary back again. I really missed her. That's that silly operator again. Hello?
Hello, may I speak to Jack Benny, please?
Yeah, this is he.
Do you reside at 360 North Camden Drive?
Yes.
In Beverly Hills?
Yes. Yes, who is this?
Oh, Mr. Benny, this is the Office of the Collector of Internal Revenue.
Yikes!
Mr. Benny, did I hear a dog?
Yes, down, Fido, down. Now, what were you saying?
I said this is the Office of the Collector of Internal Revenue. We'd like to discuss your 1950 income tax return. Will you be home for a while?
Home? Well, yes. Yes, I'll be home.
Good. We'll drop in to see you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Gee, this is strange. I never had this happen before. I know I filled it out correctly and...
Here you are, boss. I fixed you something to eat.
Who's hungry?
Boss, what's the matter?
I don't know. I just got a call from the Collector of Internal Revenue. They want to go over my income tax return. Down, Fido. Powell. I wonder what could be wrong with my income tax return. I'm pretty sure I did everything right. I wonder what those Internal Revenue men want. They can get awfully tough, too. They can even send you to... Say, I wonder how Dennis's uncle got into Tehachapi. If you gotta go, you may as well enjoy yourself. Maybe Oh, for heaven's sake, look at that. Right after Rochester did the spring cleaning. Look at all those ants crawling in through the window. Well, I'll fix them. Oh, Rochester!
Yes, boss?
Bring me the poison.
No, boss, not that. Take it right
It's for the ants. I'm not even thinking about those tax fellows who want to see me. Come in. Come in. They didn't hear me.
Mr. Benny?
I'll call him. Yes. That's me.
I'm Joseph Collins of the Bureau of Internal Revenue. I spoke to you on the phone.
Yes. Come in.
This is my assistant, Herbert Thompson.
How do you do?
How do you do? Sit down, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Now, Mr. Benny.
Yes, Mr. Collins.
Now, Mr. Benny, I have here a copy of your 1950 income tax return.
Well, I went over it carefully before I mailed it in. I'm sure I declared everything, you know.
Well, Mr. Benny, according to your return, last year your total income was $375,000.
That's right. During 1950, I earned $375,000.
Then this figure denoting the money you spent last year on entertainment must be a mistake.
No, it's right.
$17?
Yes, and I can prove it. I've got receipts for every penny of it.
Mr. Benny, please don't misunderstand. The government is trying to be fair. We feel that you might unconsciously be cheating yourself.
Who, me?
Well, yes, if your income was $375,000 last year, you must have spent more than $17 for entertainment.
No, that's all I can remember.
Well, we also checked your 1949 tax return, and there you claim you spent $23 for entertainment.
Oh, that's the year I went to Las Vegas.
Well, Mr. Benny, we still feel that you're not getting the full advantage of your legal deductions. Now, think a minute.
Yes?
You're in a business where personal contacts are very important.
Oh, they are. For instance, last year I was anxious to make a picture at the Universal International Studios, see? So in order to make an impression on William Getz, the executive producer, I invited him and his wife to have dinner with me at Ciro's. I remember the check came to $56.
Well, why isn't it down here?
He paid it.
Well, you undoubtedly made an impression on him.
Yes.
Mr. Benny, just to be doubly sure, would you mind giving us a breakdown on how you earned $375,000 last year?
Well, let's see. I made $200,000 in radio, $40,000 in television, and $35,000 in personal appearances.
But that only amounts to $275,000. How did you make the other $100,000? Mr. Benny, how did you make that other $100,000?
Laundry.
Mr. Benny, do you mean that you actually take in...
I knew that, Joe. I knew it. My wife brings our washing here.
I thought I recognized your shirt. Those gravy stains are murder.
Well, now, Mr. Benny, believe me, we're trying to help you. Are you sure you can't think of any other deductions on your income tax?
No, I can't. But, gosh, why does the tax department want to be so fair to little old me?
Because little old you and General Motors are our best customers.
Well, I'm sorry, but all I spent on entertainment last year was $17.
Well, Mr. Benny, do you mind if my assistant and I discuss this matter privately?
No, not at all. Come, I'll show you into the den.
This is certainly a nice house you have here, Mr. Benny.
Oh, I'm glad you like it.
How many rooms do you have?
26. I got it on a GI loan. See, I was in the Navy during the First World War. Well, here's the den. I'll be out here if you want me.
Excuse us, Mr. Benny.
Joe, I've been with the Internal Revenue Department for 20 years, and I've never run into anything like this. What do you make of it?
I don't know. Here's a man in show business who's made $375,000, and yet he only spent $17 for entertainment. I feel there must be a mistake.
Undoubtedly. No man could be that cheap.
Of course not. Well, maybe we ought to go through his report again. Now, Mr. Benny.
Yes, Mr. Collins.
Now, please remember, we're trying to help you. We just don't want you to cheat yourself.
I know.
Mr. Benny, a man who makes as much money as you do could very easily spend $25,000 or $30,000 for entertainment, and yet you've only spent $17.
Well, I'm sorry, but that's all it was,
Well, tell us, Mr. Benny, did you spend this $17 in one place?
Are you crazy? It's all itemized right there.
Well, Mr. Benny, I just can't understand this at all. I wish you'd think and think hard, because I'm sure you must have spent more than $17 for entertainment.
Well, I'll think it over, gentlemen, and then I'll let you know.
Goodbye, Mr. Benny.
Goodbye, Mr. Benny.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Mr. Benny, before I go, I'd like to say something.
Yes.
Well, this whole thing is so unbelievable. By that, I mean, you have all this money at your disposal, and yet you spend practically nothing.
Well, I guess I'm just not the spending type, you see.
You know, Mr. Benny, I'll bet there are millions of people who'd like to see you elected president.
Thank you. Goodbye, gentlemen.
Goodbye, Mr. Benny.
Oh, Rochester.
Yes, boss?
Hurry up and finish your spring cleaning.
But, boss, I'm tired.
I don't care. Finish the cleaning. And do it well. In a few years, you may be cleaning in the White House.
What'd you say?
Nothing. I'm going out and play golf.
How was your golf game, boss?
Very good, Rochester. Very good. Now, get it. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Benny. This is Mr. Collins again.
Oh, yeah.
We've taken this up with the Secretary of the Treasury, John Snyder, in Washington, and he feels as we do that you're not taking advantage of your deductions.
Well...
Mr. Snyder feels that you certainly must have spent more than $17.
No. I'm sorry. That's... I wish I could say more, but that's all I've spent.
Well, sorry to bother you, Mr. Benny. Goodbye.
Goodbye. I can't understand why they don't believe me. I tell them I spent $17. That's all I... Rochester, how much did you spend for entertainment last year?
$1,200.
$1,200? That's exactly what I pay you. What does that leave you with?
Beautiful memories.
Maybe I'll try that sometime. Good night, folks.
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, the Sportsman Quartet, and yours truly, Don Wilson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go out to Jack Benny's house in Beverly Hills. On this beautiful day, we find Jack and the gang in the backyard practicing archery.
Do I hold the bow like this, Jack?
Yes, Mary. Now pull the string all the way back. That's it. Now take aim. Let go. Say, that was pretty good, Mary. Not bad. You know, you only missed the bullseye by 3 inches.
Yeah, that's pretty good, Liv.
Now it's my turn. Stand back a little, Mary. You too, Phil. Watch me hit the bullseye. Here I go. Who moved the target?
Nobody move 'em, target, Chief. You just think 'em.
Oh, stop. Now hand me another arrow, Mary.
Here you are.
Now stand aside, everybody. Here I go. Ow! Ow!
Hey, what happened?
The arrow fell out and he got his head caught in the bow.
Well, if you kids would stop bothering me, I can hit that target at 100 yards. I'm an expert marksman.
Some marksman. You have to put a bomb sight on your finger to dial a phone.
Bomb sight. Now, if you'll cut out the talking, I'll show you that I can do it. Ready? Aim.
Good luck, Mr. Benny.
Dennis, be quiet. Now, everybody, be quiet.
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 Yeah. Ready? Aim.
Quiet!
Dennis, please. Now, if everybody will shut up, I'll show you. Phil, get away from in front of that target.
What, and get hit?
Now, don't be funny and stand aside. Ready? Aim.
Oh, Mr. Benny, would you let Mary hold your bow and arrow for a minute?
What for?
I want to bend over and tie my shoelace.
Now, don't worry, I'm not aiming at you. Now, stand back, everybody, and give me room. Ready? Aim.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, little Don. Nothing but interruption. I'm trying to get a bullseye.
You couldn't get a bullseye if you were Elsie the cow.
Well, that's a clever remark. I didn't know they sold jokes in bottles.
Yeah, you can get them in a pinch.
Now cut that! And since you're such a wise guy, Phil, I'll bet you a dime that I can take this bow and arrow and shoot an apple off Don Wilson's head. Now put up or shut up.
Hey, wait a minute!
Okay, Jackson, it's a bet.
Now, just a second.
Here's my dime.
Here's my dime.
Okay. Here, Mary, you hold the money.
Gee, and I'm not even bonded.
Just hold it. Now, Don, take this apple.
Now, wait a minute, Jack. I'm not going to stand here with an apple on my head and take the chance.
Don, Phil and I are betting. What have you got to lose? Huh?
It's too dangerous. I'm not going to do it.
Don, have you read your contract? On page 12, volume 6, paragraph 3, is the apple shooting clause. Which also includes tasting my food when I go to NBC banquets. Now, Don, put that apple on your head and go stand by that tree.
Oh, all right.
Now, watch this, Phil. Ready? Aim. Don, would you mind turning that apple around a little?
Why?
There's a worm peeking out at me. It makes me nervous. I think he's peeking on a worm. You can't tell one end from the other.
They had the same trouble with me when I was born.
They did not.
Then why did the doctor slap my face?
I don't know, but I'm sure he had a good reason. Now, quiet, everybody. And, Don, stand perfectly still so the apple won't fall off your head.
Jack, I'm not going to stand
Don,
here.
put that apple back on.
Oh, all right.
And put it in the middle of your head. Don't try to look sporty. Okay, now, watch this, kids. Ready? Aim. What happened?
The arrow went right through a window in your house.
Oh, my goodness. Rochester, where are you?
I'm in here, boss, in the den.
Well, thank heaven. Well, I'm calling you. Why don't you come out?
I can't. I'm pinned to the wall.
Pinned to the wall? Rochester.
Oh, that's all right, boss. It only went through my sleeve.
Oh, then let me... Wait a minute. Why have you got the phone in your hand?
When I saw the arrow coming, I dialed Forest Lawn.
Oh, stop. Now, hold still, Rochester, while I pull the arrow out of the wall. There.
Oh, Mr. Benny.
Now, what do you want?
Do you mind if I tell you something?
No, what?
If they made me a king, I'd still be a slave to you.
Well, that certainly came out of left field. What made you say that?
Well, that's the first line of the song I'm going to sing on the program. Do you want to hear it before I go home?
Yes, if you promise to go home right afterwards.
Okay.
That was very good, Dennis, very good. But when you do it on the show, I want you to be... Well, he kept his promise. He went home. Sometimes if that's Dennis again, I'm going to fire him. If they made me a king, I'd still be I better keep him. I'm a baritone. Oh, it's you, Mr.
Collins, Joseph Collins from the Office of the Collector of Internal Revenue. And you remember my assistant, Herbert Thompson?
Yes. How do you do?
How do you do?
Come right in, gentlemen. Sit down.
Thank you.
I didn't expect to see you fellas again. I thought we settled my income tax problem last week.
Well, so did we, Mr. Benny. But the Department of Internal Revenue still feels that you're not taking full advantage of your legal deductions. We want to be fair with you.
Fair with me?
Yes, we still feel that any man who earned as much as you did last year must have spent more than $17 on entertainment.
Well, that's all I spent, $17.
That's what we told the head of our department, but he just wouldn't believe it.
So he called the chief of the Federal Income Tax Bureau here in California and explained it to him.
Oh, and what did the chief do?
He called Washington, D.C.
And what did Washington do?
They're throwing the whole thing into the UN.
Gee, I never thought that I'd become an international issue here.
Well, now, Mr. Benny, and please believe us, yours is such a unique case that we're very anxious to help you.
I know.
Well, now, you've listed an item here, taking Mr. and Mrs. Ronald Colman to the Macambo, and you spent $3.90.
I took Miss Livingston, too.
And you only spent $3.90? Are you sure?
Well, I can't remember spending any more.
Well, perhaps if we talk to Mr. Coleman, he might remember the incident.
Well, he might recall something about it. I don't know. He lives right next door.
Oh, good. We'll drop over to see him. Well, goodbye, Mr. Benny.
Mr. Benny.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
That's unbelievable, Herb. Unbelievable.
In all the years I've been with the Internal Revenue Department, I've never come across anything like this. Have you?
Only once. I checked over a man's return, and for that year, he only spent $22 on entertainment.
Was he in show business?
No, he was a prisoner at San Quentin.
Oh.
In solitary yet. Oh, say, that must be the Coleman's house over there.
Oh, yes. I wonder if they're home.
Shall I fill your cup again, Ronnie?
Yes, please, Benita.
Lemon or cream?
Cream.
1 lump or 2?
2. You know, Benita, some people drink this haddock straight.
Ronnie, you'd better change clothes. We have to have dinner and the picture starts at...
I'll see who it is. Now, where's my... Oh, here it is.
Oh, Ronnie, why do you always take a pen along? They may not even want your autograph.
Well, maybe you're right, darling. Coming. Yes?
Are you Mr. Ronald Coleman?
Yes, I am.
Well, we're from the Office of the Collector of Internal Revenue.
Yipe!
Now, calm down, Mr. Coleman. It's not in reference to you that we're here.
It's concerning the income tax return of your neighbor, Jack Benny.
Good, good.
I'm afraid you don't understand. You see, last year Mr. Benny earned $375,000.
$375,000?
Yes, and according to his return, he spent $17 for entertainment.
That much?
But, Mr. Coleman, only $17.
Well, why would he have to spend more? He borrows everything from us.
Well, we'd like to come in and talk to you.
Of course. Come right in.
Who is it, Ronnie?
It's two men from the income tax department. No, darling, no. It's not about us. Right this way, gentlemen. This is Mrs. Colman.
Pleased to meet you.
How do you do?
I'm Joseph Collins, and this is my assistant, Herbert Thompson.
How do you do?
Now, when are you sending Mr. Benny to jail?
No, Mr. Coleman. There's nothing wrong with Mr. Benny's tax return. In fact, it's just the other way around. We don't think he's being fair to himself.
What?
We're sure we can get him a refund, but Mr. Benny doesn't seem to be interested in getting any money back.
I see. Benita, I'll humor them. You look in the paper and see where they've escaped from.
Now, Mr. Coleman, we hate to bother you, but Mr. Benny has an item we'd like to talk to you about. Now, this one right here. $3.90 for taking you and Mrs. Coleman to the Macambo. You recall that night?
Mr. Collins, that and the time the garbage truck turned over on our front lawn are two incidents that are burned in my memory.
Well, just to satisfy our curiosity, would you mind describing that evening to us?
You see, we'd like to know how anyone could take a party of four to the Macambo and only spend $3.90.
Well, perhaps I can enlighten you. It was early last year, and Jack had invited us to the Macambo. The evening started off normally enough. As a matter of fact, we danced a while before ordering dinner.
I enjoyed dancing with you, Ronnie.
Oh, thank you, Mary, but the pleasure is mine. Here, let me help you with the chair.
Gosh, Benita, it was wonderful dancing with you.
Thank you, Jack.
I never enjoyed waltzing so much.
Yeah. It's a shame the band was playing a rumba.
Oh, I hadn't noticed. Well, there they go again. Would you care for another dance, Benita?
Well, all right.
Mary, would you like to dance again?
No, thanks. I'm a little tired. I've been on my feet all day.
On your feet?
Yes, it's Saturday. I still help out at the May Company.
All right, then we'll just sit here and talk.
Say, Ronnie, do you mind if I ask you something personal?
Personal?
Yes, I keep hearing rumors that you don't like Jack too much.
Well...
Oh, I know he has his faults, but he means well.
Well, maybe so, but why can't he mean well to somebody else? If it were Jack alone, it might not be so bad, but it's those ridiculous people that are on the show with you.
What do you mean?
Well, that Phil Harris person. It's amazing, the character he portrays on the radio. Does he carry on like that in real life?
Shall we look under the table and see?
Oh, come now, Mary. You're making that up.
Yes, but the odds are in my favor. Maybe I just didn't guess the right table. But, he isn't a bad fellow.
Gee, Benita, you really are a swell dancer.
Well, maybe it's because I'm so fond of dancing.
You must be. Whoops. Oh, I'm sorry, Benita. I didn't mean to step on your toe. Did it hurt?
No. Thank heavens you're wearing tennis shoes.
Well, I like them. They're so comfy,
Oh, Jack, wait a second. You better get your handkerchief. I accidentally smeared some lipstick on your lapel.
Oh, that's all right. I'll wipe it off when we get to the table.
No. If Ronnie sees it, he'll be terribly angry.
Oh, I didn't know Ronnie was jealous.
He's not, but it's his tuxedo.
Oh, I thought Rochester returned it. Well, here's our table, Benita.
Did you enjoy the dance, Benita? Well, yes, it was, interesting.
Here, Benita, let me pull your chair out for you. Pulled it too far. Here, Benita, I'll help you up.
Darling, did you hurt yourself?
No, it's all right.
Just a little accident.
Jack, why don't you get us some menus? We want to order dinner.
Certainly. Oh, waiter. We want to order.
Shall I bring you a finger bowl?
A finger bowl?
Well, you're not going to eat with those dirty hands, are you?
Now, wait a minute. Why is it that I always have trouble with you? Every time I run into you, there's an argument. What have you got against me?
Well, in the first...
I'm asking him!
Jack, forget it. Waiter, please give us a menu.
Here you are.
Thank you.
Now, let's see. What are you going to have, Benita?
I think I'll have, shrimp cocktail, roast beef rare, and a baked potato.
Very good, madam.
I think I'll have a Caesar salad, broiled lobster, and some broccoli.
Yes, madam.
I'll have some consomme, lamb chops, medium rare, and green peas.
Yes, sir. Now, how about you, Arthur Murray?
I don't know yet. I'm still looking at the menu. Let's see. Shrimp cocktail, $1. Soup, 85 cents. Caesar salad, $1.50. Roast chicken, $2.75. Filet mignon. Whoops.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Jack, order something, anything.
Well, all right. I'll have some oysters.
Yes, sir. Half dozen or a dozen?
A dozen.
Fried or on the half shell?
On the half shell.
Blue Point or Olympia?
Blue Point.
Male or female?
Wait, how can you tell if an oyster is male or female?
We look at their driver's license. I knew you'd ask.
Just go and bring us our food.
Oh, all right.
By the way, Jack, you still haven't told us the reason for this little party.
Well, this marks, Benita, the 19th anniversary of my first appearance on radio. Imagine, 19 years. Ah, how time flies.
It's certainly dragging its feet tonight.
Yes. What? What'd you say, Ronnie?
Jack, do you still enjoy doing radio? I mean, after all these years?
Yes, Benita, very much.
You know something, Jack? I've never told you this, but I heard the very first radio program you ever did.
Gee, Ronnie, I didn't know you were such a fan of mine. You listened to the very first program I did?
Yes. How have they been since then?
Oh, Ronnie, you mean to say that you haven't listened to me since then? In 19 years?
Well, Jack, you see, it's like this. We're out every Sunday.
But how can you find places to go every Sunday?
It isn't easy.
Well, I can imagine. But then if you go out, you must listen to the radio in your car.
Oh, we do, Jack, we do.
Oh, well, what's your favorite program?
The Halls of Ivy.
Oh, yeah. Very good. I have friends on it. Well, here comes our food.
Would any of you like dessert with your coffee?
Not me.
Nothing for me, thanks.
Well, I might as well get the check.
No, wait a minute, Jack. I'd like to pay the check.
No, Ronnie, I wouldn't think of letting you. After all, it's my party.
Oh, I know, Jack, but I'd feel better if you let me pay. And I'm sure you would, too.
No, Ronnie, I insist. I invited you, so it's my party.
No, I tell you what, Jack. Let's split the check.
Well, it's okay with me, Ronnie, but you think it would be fair to Mary and Benita?
Mary, did you hear that? Why do you think I'm working Saturdays at the May Company?
I heard you, Mary, and I'm taking the check. Oh, waiter, I want to pay the check.
Yeah, I know. I heard you.
Well, why don't you hand it to me?
The photographer isn't ready yet.
Now, that'll be enough out of you. You better off paying more attention to your job. Some waiter. Look at the tablecloth and that. seen such dirty linen.
Will you do them for us, Wong Fu?
That's beside the point. I've never seen such a rude, impertinent waiter in all my life. I've got a good mind.
Don't you stamp your tennis shoes at me.
Well, I've taken about all I intend to from you. I'm going to get satisfaction even if I have to take you out in the back alley and thrash you to within an inch of your life.
Jack!
Let me alone, Mary. I'm going to show this guy once and for all that he can't get away.
And Mr. Colman, that was the evening you spent with Mr. Benny at the Macambo?
Unfortunately, yes.
But with all the food you ordered, it must have amounted to quite a bit.
Yes, it was about $40. I know, because I finally paid the check.
Oh. Well, now, wait a minute. Well, how come Mr. Benny's deducting $3.90 on his income tax for that night?
Well, that was for cleaning my tuxedo he was wearing. He got punched in the nose and knocked down.
Who punched him? The waiter?
No, Mary. She's a lovely...
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Barry Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, the Sportsman Quartet, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, spring is here. But to prove to you that the weather in California is always warm and sunny, we bring you one of our satisfied residents. Listen to that little birdie singing. Anyway, it's spring, so let's go out to Jack Benny's house in Beverly Hills, where we find Rochester cleaning the house.
Darn this dust. Doggone, I wish Mr. Benny would buy a bag for this vacuum cleaner. My pockets are full. This is awful. Hey, I didn't turn the cleaner off. Uh-oh, the Colmans must have pulled out the plug. Well, I was finished anyway. Oh, hell, boss.
Hello, Rochester. Say, you really got the house clean.
Thanks.
I was just out in the yard looking at the swimming pool. And, Rochester, I think tomorrow you can turn the water on and fill it.
But, boss, I thought you said...
I know, but if it hasn't rained by this time, it's not going. Sometimes I think that... I'll get it, Rochester.
Hello, Jack.
Oh, hello, Mary. Say, you're kind of early. We're not supposed to leave for the circus for nearly an hour.
I know, Jack, but it's such a beautiful day, I left the house early and walked over.
Oh.
And as I came down Sunset Boulevard, some fresh guy pulled up to the curb and offered me a ride.
No.
Yeah, he thought he was smart just because he had a new Cadillac convertible.
Yeah.
Gee, it was windy with the top down.
Mary, you mean that you accepted a ride from a total stranger? Why, that...
Oh, for heaven's sake, Jack, I'm kidding.
Kidding?
Certainly. You don't think I'm the type of girl who lets herself get picked up by any guy in an auto.
I don't know. That's how you met me. Hey, Mary. I'll get a laugh some way. Say, Mary. Mary, Say, Mary, what's that in your hand, huh?
Oh, it's a letter from Mama. I thought you'd want to see it.
A letter from your mother, eh? Well, what does nobody's friend Irma have to say?
I'll read it to you. My darling daughter, Mary, we are all very glad that you're over your 5 weeks' illness and are appearing on Jack's program again. But it must be discouraging to go from unemployment insurance back to your regular salary.
There's not enough difference to talk about.
Your sister Babe has been home for a couple of weeks, and frankly, she's a little conceited because she replaced you on Jack's program. Now she wants him to put a star on her locker at the slaughterhouse.
Mary, Babe is now working in a slaughterhouse?
Yes, she's known as Hit Him in the Head Livingston.
But Mary...
Oh, Jack, let me finish the letter, please.
All right, go ahead, kid.
Last night we went...
You don't generally get this much to do, you know. Go ahead.
last night we went to a going-away party for your cousin Melvin. It was a nice affair, but I think it was silly of Melvin to put on a sailor suit just because you're sending him up the river.
Babe works in a slaughterhouse? You know, Mary, your mother writes such a funny letter. Excuse me. Oh, hello, Dennis.
Hello, Mr. Benny. I'm sorry I'm late.
You're not late. You're early.
I am?
Yes.
Gee, this daylight saving time has got me confused.
Daylight saving time? Dennis, you're not supposed to turn your watch ahead till next Sunday.
I forgot to turn it back from last year.
Oh. Well, then you're really late.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Dennis, you're starting to confuse me already. Now, do me a favor. Will you go out, walk around the block, and come back in again?
Okay, goodbye.
Who was that, Jack?
It was Dennis. He came in to wish me a Merry Christmas.
What?
I don't know. He gets me mixed up, too. I told him to walk around the block.
Well, isn't he going to the circus with us?
Yes, the whole gang's going. I better tell Rochester what time I'll be home. Rochester?
Yes, boss?
I'll be home about 6 o'clock for dinner, so don't forget to go to the market.
I've already been to the market, boss.
Oh, what did you buy? I gave you $5.
Let me see. I bought 10 pounds of potatoes, 3 pounds of butter, 2 pounds of hamburger, a prime rib roast, 8 pork chops, 3 pounds of bacon, a leg of lamb, and a sirloin steak.
Oh, good. Where's the change?
Change?
Oh, did that all come to $5?
Oh, no, boss. The $5 ran out after the hamburger.
Oh, well, how'd you get him to give you the pork chops, the bacon, the leg of lamb, and the sirloin steak?
I signed a contract.
A contract with a butcher shop?
Yeah, you're appearing there tonight.
What?
And if you make good, I can book you at the Van Nuys A&P.
Rochester, don't go booking me for personal appearances. I've got an agent for that. Why do you think I pay him 9%? Now, look, I want you... I'll get it. Hello?
It's me. I'm lost.
Oh, Dennis, don't be ridiculous. Where are you now?
I'm doing my Christmas shopping.
Now, cut that out. And if you want to go to the circus with us, you better get back here right away.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye. Silly kid. I wonder what he bought for me. Oh, well.
Say, Mr. Benny.
What is it, Rochester?
After I serve dinner, can I have the rest of the evening off?
Why?
We're having a big party on Central Avenue for my friend Jerome, who got drafted.
Well, certainly. Wait a minute, Rochester. Your friend Jerome was drafted 6 months ago, and he's overseas now.
Yeah, it's a shame he's going to miss the party.
Well, you can go, but don't stay out all... Oh, that must be Phil. He's going to the circus with us.
Hello, Mr. Benny.
Dennis. Dennis! How did you get here so soon?
Well, as soon as
Now, hold it, Dennis. I don't want to get into another routine. And there's something else I want to tell you.
Yeah, what?
Now, look, Mary's in the living room. Now, you know she was sick for several weeks.
Uh-huh.
Right now, she's feeling fine, so don't start any of your silly talk with her. I don't want her to have any trouble. Now, when you see her, just say hello. That's all. Just hello.
Yes, sir.
Jack, what took you so... Oh, hello, Dennis.
Hello.
Are you going to the circus with us?
Hello.
Look, Dennis, you can say more than that.
I can?
Yes.
Kiss me, Livy.
Now, stop! Dennis, look at me.
You want to hear the song I'm going to do on the program?
That's exactly what I want. Now, let's have it.
Okay.
That was very good, Dennis. Very good.
Oh, it's not bad for a silly kid who has 2 shows, does personal appearances, and is now making a picture.
Dennis, you're making a picture?
Yeah, 20th Century Fox.
Gee, you have your own show, personal appearances, and now you're making a picture.
When he starts playing meat markets, he'll be as big as you are.
Mary, how did you know?
I bought a pound of liver and you were in the coming attraction.
Imagine getting the publicity out already.
Hello? Hello, is this you, Jackson?
Yes, Philly. You going to the circus with us?
Yeah, Jackson, but you better go on ahead because I'm going to be late.
Late? Why?
I've been rehearsing my band for a concert tour, and it took longer than I figured.
Why? What happened?
We ran out of ice. Ice? Yeah, whoever has an 8-bar rest mixes them.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Anyway, Jackson, you go on without me. I'll meet you at the circus.
Okay, are you going to bring any of your, as it says on the payroll, musicians?
Yeah, Jackson, they'll all be there. Well, except Sammy, my drummer. He hates circuses.
Sammy hates circuses? Why?
He used to work in one. He was the guy who put his head in the lion's mouth.
No.
Why'd he give it up? He didn't give it up. The lion quit.
Oh, well, I don't blame the lion. Sammy's head is the size of a watermelon. Of course, his isn't ripe yet.
You're so right. I plugged it yesterday.
Well, Phil, the next time there's someone at the door, I better say goodbye.
So long, Jackson. I'll see you at the circus.
Okay. What a day. The door, the phone, the door. Oh, I wasn't expecting you, Mr. Collins.
Mr. Benny, the Department of Internal Revenue suggested that we visit you once more. You remember my assistant, Herbert Thompson?
Yes. How do you do?
How do you do? Mr. Benny, we hate to bother you again, and the only reason we continue to do so is because we're trying to help you.
I know.
You stated, Mr. Benny, that you made $375,000 last year.
Yeah.
And we're willing to assume that all you spent for entertainment was $17.
Yeah. That's right.
But now we've gone into your tax return further, and we feel there are other places you didn't take deductions you're entitled to.
Really?
Yes, we noticed you prepared your income tax return yourself. Now, when it comes to filling out a return as complicated as yours, you're entitled to the services of an expert accountant, a person who knows more about money matters than you do.
Name one.
Well, offhand, that would be difficult.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Benny, believe me, we're trying to help you.
I know.
Now, you listed an item of a $50,000 loan with a California bank.
That's right, the California bank.
Well, you know you can deduct the interest you pay on that loan.
Oh, no, I can't. You see, I loaned it to them. Oh. Now, will there be anything else, gentlemen?
No, I guess not. Come on, Herb. Let's go back to the sanitarium and work on it some more. Goodbye, Mr. Benny.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Goodbye.
Gee, but those two fellas are nice to me.
Hiya, the world's greatest attractions ever assembled in one place. Now, folks, we have Jojo the dog-faced boy, Beatrice the marinated mermaid, half herring, half sour cream. And as an extra added attraction, we have the world's only India rubber man with white sidewall legs. Yes, sir, the greatest freaks on earth.
God.
Mr. Benny, can we go in?
I guess so. Oh, mister, about the freak show.
Yes, sir. Would you like a ticket or a contract? All right, step right up.
Now, look,
see,
mister.
Get away from me, bub. You bother me.
What?
Mr. Benny?
Quiet. Now, come on, kid. Hey, here's another sideshow.
All right. Step right in and see the most amazing sights in the history of show business. On the inside, you'll see Matilda, the fat lady. 790 pounds of bounce and blubber. Ladies and gentlemen, concludes the big free outside exhibition. But don't go away. Look here. I call your attention to this lady here, Salome, the exotic dancer of the Orient. She'll give a full and complete dance on the inside. The dance which caused sultans to give up their harems, rajas to fight duels. She shimmies and she shakes.
Come on, kid. Let's go over to the merry-go-round.
Let's go to the merry-go-round.
Come on, everybody. Hey, where's Dennis?
I don't know. I haven't seen him.
Oh, here he comes now.
For heaven's sake, Dennis, where have you been?
Oh, I've been going through the tunnel of love. I don't know why everybody raves about it. It's awful.
What's so bad about the tunnel of love?
Oh, it's dark in there and lonesome, and you get your clothes all wet.
You got your clothes all wet? Why, did the boat leak?
Oh, boat!
Hey, Jackson, let's go see the wild animals.
Yeah.
Okay, come on, kid.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call your attention to Rex. Rex, the king of the jungle, the most ferocious lion in captivity.
Gee. He must have a cold. He sneezed when he was a bird, too. Oh, well.
And now we would like to call your attention to the world's most perfectly trained seal. Friends, this extraordinary seal will now demonstrate his musical talent by playing a Yankee Doodle on this horn.
Say, Phil, how about... I tried to get him from my bed, but he ain't union. Oh. Anyway, how would a seal look sitting up there with my band? Better than what you've got. Oh. And it won't look so ridiculous when you throw them a fish. Believe me.
And now, friends, if you watch the center ring closely, we'll go on with the performance.
It sure has been exciting here at the circus.
And now, friends, before concluding today's performance, I'd like to present a final extra added attraction. In the middle of the center ring, we have the most ferocious gorilla in captivity. Tonight, friends, the management of this circus will open the sum of $500 to anyone who will wrestle with this gorilla. Is there a volunteer? Think of it, friends. Think of it. $500 to anyone who will come up and wrestle with this gorilla.
I wish Babe were here.
Babe?
Now, friends, this is your last chance. Your last chance. To anyone. Anyone who will wrestle this gorilla, I offer $500.
Well...
Hey, Jackson, come back here.
Wait for me, kids. This shouldn't take long.
Jack!
All right, gorilla, put up your due.
Hey, take it easy. I got a cold.
I know, but we gotta make it look good.
Okay, but don't pull the fur on my lip. That's real.
Come on, let's wrestle.
Gee, Jack, I never realized you were that brave.
Imagine wrestling a gorilla.
Yeah, but I think I caught his cold. Good night, folks.
From From the Nellis Air Force Base, the Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Polaris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're broadcasting from Nellis Air Base, right outside of Las Vegas. We wanted to bring you a slot machine, but since we can't, we bring you something else that doesn't pay off. And here he is, Jack Benny.
Yes, sirree. Thank you. Hello again. This is Jack Benny talking. And, Don, isn't it exciting being here at... Hey, Don, there goes one of those jet planes they have here.
Yeah.
Hey, there. Look at Don. There goes another one.
Well, they certainly fly low.
You're not kidding. This morning I was walking around the field here. One of them came so low it took my hair off.
Oh, Jack, you're not serious.
Yes, I am, Don. Somewhere up in the wild blue yonder is an F-84 with a blonde landing gear. But you know, Don, these jet planes amaze me. How can they go so fast?
Oh, it's really quite simple, Jack.
Simple?
Certainly. You see, on a jet, the air is drawn into the compressor and forced into the combustion chambers, where it mixes with the injected fuel and... Now, do you understand it, Jack?
Yes, but I'd never be able to explain it to anybody. I've got a loose pivot tube. But, Don, it's not only the planes that amaze me, it's the fellas here. They seem so young, especially the officers.
Oh, you're right about that, Jack. In fact, the commanding officer, Colonel Tackon, is one of the youngest full colonels in the Air Force.
Oh, I didn't know that, Don. You say, oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack. Hi, fellas.
Well, how do you like it up here, Mary? Oh, that's your line, Don. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take it, huh?
Well, Mary, instead of Jack asking you, I will. How do you like it up here? You enjoying your visit to the air base?
Oh, very much, Don. But I guess I'm old-fashioned. Everything around here is so fast.
You're right, Mary. The planes here are the fastest in the world.
I was talking about the pilots.
Oh.
Mary, did you meet any of the pilots?
Yes, this morning. One of them took me up for a ride in a jet. And as we were speeding along, he asked me for a kiss, then kissed me.
Kissed you? Well, didn't you say no?
Certainly. But we were traveling faster than sound, and by the time my no caught up with us...
Wait a minute, Mary. These boys are faster than you are with the jet. Mary, listen. If you were traveling faster than sound, how could you hear what he asked you?
I caught that on the way back.
Well, now I'm all confused.
Jack, I'm just teasing you. The pilots here are very nice.
Yes, they are, Mary. To show my appreciation for their hospitality, I brought along a present for Colonel Tackon.
Oh, what'd you get the Colonel, Jack?
An electric razor. It's a real good one.
He can't use that. He doesn't shave yet.
Oh, stop making things up. The Colonel's not that young. He's 36. Just 3 years younger than I am. Who was that?
The Colonel.
Oh, that was the Colonel.
Yes, that was the Colonel. He hates to think he's going to look like you in 3 short years.
Now, Mary, you can stop with that stuff. Sometimes... Hey, here comes another jet plane. It's coming right for the building. Don, open the window.
Got it.
Isn't that wonderful? Right through the Venetian blind.
Oh, Jack.
Yes, Mary?
It's back on your head again, but the part's running from side to side.
Well, he'll probably come back to straighten it. I'm going to ask him to fly me to Salt Lake City. I have to be there Monday and Tuesday.
Oh, hello, Mr. Benny.
Oh, hello, Dennis. Well, Dennis, are you enjoying yourself here at the base?
Yeah, but I'm worried. Where's the telephone? I want to call the police.
Call the police? Why?
Somebody stole the propellers off all the planes.
What?
Dennis, the planes here have no propellers. They're jets.
Well, how can anything fly without a propeller?
I wouldn't know, but the boys in Phil's band do it all the time.
What have you been doing since you arrived, Dennis?
Oh, a lot of things. Yesterday I took a boat cruise on Lake Mead. Gee, he was the most beautiful boat I ever saw.
What'd you say, Dennis?
I said he was the most beautiful boat I ever saw.
Dennis, you mean she was the most beautiful boat. You should know that.
Well, you'll have to forgive me. My mother only told me about the birds and the bees.
What?
I guess she wanted my father to tell me about boats.
Dennis, all boats are she's. There are no he's.
Then where did the little boats...
They build them! They build them! They build them! Now stop asking silly questions and sing your song.
Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, Mr. Benny.
Now what?
I just saw a picture of you and Mary on the cover of the latest issue of Look magazine.
Oh, our picture's on the cover of Look magazine? Well, What do you know? I didn't know that was out yet. Where'd you see it, Dennis?
It's sticking out of your pocket.
I must have put on Mary's coat by mistake. She's such a ham, you know? Now, Dennis, go ahead and sing your song, will you?
Yes, sir.
That was I Apologize, sung by Dennis Day and accompanied by Phil Harris, whose orchestra just gave you the sound that everybody is trying to fly faster than. And now, fellas...
All right, break it up, will you? Get off of it. Let's knock it off.
Phil!
Break it up. Listen to me, Jackson. Don't be talking about my boys like that.
Well?
They ain't so bad.
They ain't, eh? Well, I disagree, Phil. They is.
Jack's right, Phil. I think you ought to do something about the boys in your orchestra. They look awful.
Take a little easier, Liv. If I were you, I wouldn't say too much around here. You know, you're not so popular at this base.
What do you mean?
Fellas around here really have it in for you.
Oh, Phil, don't be ridiculous.
Well, all I know is there's a sign outside of one of them buildings that says Infirmary.
That's infirmary! Infirmary.
It's a natural mistake for a chap who was in a spelling bee and was nosed out by the bee.
Never mind that. And, Phil, now that we have taken this short pause for character identification, why didn't you show up at rehearsal yesterday?
I'm sorry, Jackson, but I was out on Lake Mead. And say, you ought to come out with me sometime. That fishing out there is great.
Well, I don't know, Phil. Lake Mead, that's 30 miles away. Isn't there any place closer?
Well, there's a river about 10 miles from here where I used to go fishing, but it's no good anymore because it's dried up.
You mean the water's all gone?
Jackson, that river's so dry the salmon have to walk 6 miles up a dirt road to spawn.
No.
I don't get it.
What's the matter with you, kid? That's a funny joke. Don't you know nothing about salmon?
I don't even know about boats.
Quiet, Dennis. Phil, who else is going fishing?
Oh, Remley, my guitar player. I always take him with me. You know, when you hook them big fish, they put up an awful struggle, and then that's where the teamwork comes in.
Teamwork?
Yeah, I haul them in as close as I can. Remley breathes on them, and they do the Tennessee waltz right into the...
A little
Mad Libby in there, huh? Well, I'll be darned. Last time, Jackson, we had to throw one back. Oh, too small? No, he was under 21. Oh, fine.
Say, Phil, did you catch anything while you were out on the lake this morning?
Yeah, Dante. I hooked a whopper. Wait a minute. I even got a picture of it. Here. Look at the size of that bass. Let me see it, Phil. Here you are. Oh, isn't that cute? The bass is holding you up. Yeah. You ought to see the size of the trout that took the picture. Now, cut that out. You know, Phil, if you just open your eyes once in a while... Now, come on, kids, let's finish the program so I can get back to my hotel and get some rest.
Rest? Why, you told me you went to bed early last night.
I did, but I didn't get much sleep. I can't understand why a ritzy hotel like the Flamingo would have such a silly telephone operator.
What do you mean?
Well, when I went to bed, I left a call for 8 o'clock. The operator wanted to make it the hard way, so she called me twice at 4. I wish I'd have had 10 for a point. I'd have gotten an hour's more sleep. Hey, wait a minute, Jackson. You're staying at the Flamingo Hotel? Why, certainly, Phil. You know, nothing but the best for me. After all, when you get to a town like Las Vegas, you want to live. Hey, Livy, what are you laughing at?
Jack, tell him what happened when you walked in to get a room.
Oh, Mary, forget it.
Come on, Mary, tell us what happened.
Oh.
Well, I drove up to Las Vegas with Jack. It was about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and when he pulled up to the Flamingo. I'd already reserved my room by phone, but you know Jack. He always leaves everything for the last minute.
Gee, it's a beautiful lobby, isn't it, Mary?
It sure is. A lot of people are here, too.
Hey, Mary, I'm going over and talk to the room clerk. See, this hotel really is...
May I help you, sir?
Yes, I'd like to get a room here.
Well, it's quite an honor having you visit the hotel, Mr. Benny.
Oh, you know who I am?
Yes, I saw you once in the movies.
You did?
Yes, you were sitting right next to me.
Oh, well, thank you. Now, I'd like to get a room.
Yes, sir. Now, let me see. Here's one. $250.
$250? Isn't that a kind of expensive?
Oh, that's not the price. That's the room number.
Oh, I see. It's on the second floor.
Yes, sir. It has beautifully decorated bedroom, a magnificently furnished sitting room, luxurious dressing room, and a huge entry hall.
Well, that sounds nice. What's the price on it?
$16.
Clerk, I'll loosen his collar. You push his eyes back in.
I'm all right. Now, look, clerk, I've had a...
Jack, what are you staring at?
That cash register. I've never seen anything so beautiful.
That's a slot machine.
A slot machine? Say, I've heard about them, but this is the first one I've ever seen. How do they work?
Well, you put in a nickel and pull the handle. And if 2 cherries come up, you get 5 nickels back.
Well, that's fair, isn't it?
And if 3 oranges come up, you get 11 nickels back.
Say, that's fine.
Now, if 3 bells come up, you get 18 nickels.
No kidding.
And if 3 bars come up, you get the jackpot.
Well, that's sensational. But supposing I put my nickel in, and none of those things you mentioned come up.
In that case, you lose your nickel.
Well, that's ridiculous. A thing like that will never catch on.
Jack, will you please hurry?
Just a minute, Mary. Now, look, clerk, I'm willing to stay here if you lower the rates. Let me speak to the manager.
Very well. He's right here. Mr. Benny, this is Mr. Schiller, the manager of the Flamingo.
Oh, pleased to meet you, Mr. Schiller.
How do you do?
Look, Mr. Schiller, I want to get a room and get some rest. I just drove all the way from Beverly Hills to Las Vegas.
I make that trip frequently. It's a beautiful drive.
It is? I mean, yes. Yes, it is.
Well, Mr. Benny, if you'll give me the keys to your car, I'll have the bellboy park it.
Oh, it's that Maxwell right out in front there, huh?
Oh, is that your car?
Yes.
Then we owe you an apology. We were using it to mow the lawn.
Well, leave the grass in. It'll make the seat softer.
Of course, if Schiller's going to get those kind of laughs. Now, look, Mr. Schiller. Mr. Schiller, I'm very anxious to stay at the Flamingo, but it seems that your clerk and I can't get together. He's so stubborn. Imagine him trying to charge me $16 a week.
No, Mr. Benny. It's $16 a day.
Well, that I won't discuss at all. Don't you have any less expensive rooms?
Yes, we have some for $5 and some for $7.
$5 and $7.
Pardon me, sir. Clerk.
Yes, sir?
Do you have a suite available?
Oh, yes, we do. We have them for $20 a day and $30 a day.
I'll take the one for $30.
Very well, sir. Here's your key.
Thank you.
Say, clerk, who was that fellow?
He's a private from Nellis Field. Now, what about you, Sporty? I'm still talking to Mr. Schiller.
I'm sorry, Mr. Benny, but there's nothing I can do for you. You see, I have no authority to change the rates.
Well, there must be somebody I can talk to.
Well, here's the general manager. Oh, Mr. Walsh.
Yes.
Do you mind talking to this gentleman?
No, not at all.
How do you do?
How do you do? I'm Jack Benny, star of stage, screen, and radio, see?
Oh, Jack Benny. Certainly.
I saw your last picture. Really? Did you like it?
No.
Oh, have you ever seen me on television?
Yes.
Did you like me?
No.
No. Well, have you ever heard me on the radio?
No.
Good. Now, look, Mr. Walsh, the reason I wanted to see you is because Mr. Schiller is trying to tell me that the lowest rate you have here is $5 a day.
Mr. Benny, $5 a day for a room is very reasonable.
$5 a day, but I intend to stay for 7 days.
Well, I'm sure you'd enjoy staying at the Flamingo. It costs $6 million to build.
Well, what are they trying to do, get it all back from me?
Jack, I'm leaving. Everybody in the place is looking at you.
Mary, this won't take long.
Look, Mr. Benny, I'm a busy man, and I've got a lot of things to do. I'll give you a room for $4.
You're faded. I'll take it.
Well, I'm sure you'll like it here. You know, I supervised the complete furnishing of the Flamingo. I saw to it that all the rooms had telephones, full-length mirrors, writing desks, beautifully carpeted floors, artistic pictures, unique lamps, tables, dressers.
Gee, are the beds comfortable?
Beds?
Yes.
Well, how do you like that? I knew I forgot something.
Well, don't worry about it. I brought an army cot with me. I'll take the $4 room.
Well, here's your key, Mr. Benny.
Thank you.
Come on, Jack, let's go.
Oh, just a minute, Mary. I have a nickel here. I'm going to put it in the slot machine. Gee, I hope I win. I think I've got a chance with me. Mary, look! Look!
Jack, you hit the super jackpot.
Yeah, gee, Mary, look at all those nickels. Just a minute, I'll put them in my pocket. Oh, boy. Now, come on, Mary, let's go.
Jack, tip the bellboy who brought the bags in from the car.
You take care of it, Mary. I don't have any change. Come on, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's really been a lot of fun broadcasting for the boys here at the Nellis Air Force Base. And I want to thank Colonel Tackon, Captain Quinlan, Lieutenant Rawlins, and all the personnel for their wonderful cooperation. Next week, we'll be back in Hollywood, and I hope you'll all be listening.
Gee, it sure was swell being here, Mr. Benny.
Yes, it was, Dennis. I'm certainly glad that you...
Oh, Jack.
Yes.
You can go now. The part in your hair is straight again.
They're so thoughtful. Good night, boys.
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, the Sportsman Quartet, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, while Jack Benny was away in Las Vegas, he gave Rochester the week off. As we look into Jack's home in Beverly Hills, it is morning. Rochester hasn't returned yet, so Jack is preparing his own breakfast.
Now, where's that can of coffee? Oh, here it is. I hear music and there's no one there. Gee, coffee is so expensive now. Look at the pictures of Chase and Sanborn. They're smiling. Now, let's see. How do you make coffee? Oh, yes, there's an old saying. Use 1 spoonful for each cup and 1 for the pot. See, I want about 3 cups. 1, 2, 3, and... the heck with the pot. Now I'll get the dishes and the silverware here for the table. I hear music, but there's no one there. I smell blossoms, but the trees are bare. Having breakfast in my underwear. I wonder why. Well, I've got the table set. Gee, I hate to eat alone. I wonder where Rochester put that big mirror. Oh, yes, it's in my bedroom. I hate to sleep alone, too. Uh-oh, the coffee's starting to percolate. I've got the only coffee pot that's also on the Judy Canova show. Now, let's see. What else do I want for? Who's that?
It's me, boss.
Well, so you finally got here. You should have been home yesterday.
I know.
Well, where have you been?
Well...
Now, come on, Rochester. Tell me, where have you been?
Do you want the truth or an amazingly interesting alibi?
I want the truth.
I wish you'd listen to the alibi. I worked on it all morning.
Never mind the alibi. Just tell me where you've been.
Well, since I had a week off, I went down to stay with some friends in San Diego.
Uh-huh.
My friends introduced me to some of their friends who insisted that I stay with them for a while.
Uh-huh.
Then their friends introduced me to some of their friends, and they made me stay with them.
Uh-huh.
And I finally friendlied my way clear to San Francisco.
Rogers, if you went from San Diego to San Francisco, you had to come through Los Angeles. Why didn't you stop?
My friends didn't have any friends here.
Oh, so you spend most of your time in San Francisco.
Didn't you get my card from Louisville?
Louisville? Oh, so you went to the Kentucky Derby?
Yeah.
How'd you do?
The horse I bet on couldn't even friendly himself into 3rd place.
Well, it serves you right. If you'd been back here last night instead of the... I'll get it. You finish my breakfast.
Thanks, I'm starved.
I mean, finish cooking it. Coming. I hear music and there's no one there. I smell blossoms. Oh, hello, Dennis.
Hello, Mr. Benny. Was that you singing?
Yeah.
You'll never get 2 shows.
Never mind that. What'd you come over here for?
Well, I wanted you to hear the song I rehearsed for the program.
Oh, yes. Come in.
Thank you.
Now, Dennis, go in the... Hey, wait a minute. What's that you got under your arm?
Oh, blueprints. I'm building a new house for me and my folks.
Really? Let me look at the plans.
Sure. Here.
This looks nice. This is the dining room, isn't it?
Uh-huh. And right up here is the master bedroom.
The master bedroom?
Yeah, see? The dressing table goes here, the chaise lounge goes here, the refrigerator goes here, and the stove goes there.
Well, wait a minute, Dennis. Why would you have the refrigerator and stove in the bedroom?
My mother likes to have breakfast in bed.
Well, Dennis, if your mother likes to have breakfast in bed, why can't your father bring it in from the kitchen?
Because then the food would get all cold and soggy.
The food would get cold and soggy? Why?
To get from the kitchen to the bedroom, you have to go through the living room, and that's where we have our swimming pool.
You have a swimming pool in the living room? That's ridiculous.
No, it isn't. Look what we save on rugs.
Well, this is the craziest house. Dennis, why would you have... No, I'm not going to ask you.
There's no question you can ask that the architect already didn't.
Dennis, I've really had enough, but since I haven't had breakfast yet and I've got nothing to lose, we'll continue. When are the workmen going to start building your house?
Oh, this afternoon, and I want you to come to the housewarming tonight.
Dennis, if I can guess how the men can finish the house so fast, will you sing your song?
Uh-huh.
The carpenters are drinking Hadacol.
The name of my song is No One But You.
I knew it. That was a beautiful song, Dennis. It'll be fine on the program.
Thanks. Can I go home now? I don't want to be late for the housewarming.
Yes. Go. Now, Dennis.
Hey, Jackson, stretch them tired old legs and come over here. I want to tell you something.
Hey, Mr. Benny, it's Phil.
Thanks for telling me, kid. For a minute, I thought it was the Duchess of Windsor. Come on, let's see what he wants, huh? Dennis, you don't have to hop on every crack. Now walk like I do. Now cut that out! Silly kid. Those sideburns yet. What do you want, Phil?
Oh, hiya, Jackson. Look, I wanted to show you something I bought. Ain't they cute?
Say, the dress is for a little baby.
Yeah, they're too small for your children, aren't they, Phil?
Oh, they're not for my kids. They're for Sammy the drummer's new baby. His wife had a little girl last week.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'll have to call him up.
Yeah, and say, Jackson, for a present, don't charge him for the first month's diaper service.
I won't. Have you seen the baby yet, Phil?
Yeah, she's awfully cute. She's got her mother's lips and her mother's eyes and Sammy's hair.
Well, don't worry. She'll grow her own, you know.
I doubt it. Sammy never did.
Hey, that's right. By the way, Phil, you were supposed to drop over last night and talk to me about some musical arrangements. Why didn't you show up?
Oh, I couldn't, Jackson. Last night, Alice dragged me into one of them meetings of the Parent Teachers Association, and, man, it was really embarrassing.
Embarrassing?
Yeah. I didn't know what they were talking about. One guy gets up and suggests that they coordinate all visual training aids.
Uh-huh.
Then the fellow in front of me raises his hand and suggests faculty representation at the Bilingual Festival in Ecuador. Then the fellow behind me makes a suggestion that a psychoanalytical basis be applied to compensate for the individual variance during the early academic year. Well... So, not to embarrass Alice, I got up and made a suggestion, too.
Well, good for you, Phil. What'd you suggest?
I made a motion they redecorate the cocktail bar in the school cafeteria.
Well, Phil, you made a suggestion like that?
Yeah. I'm not worried about this tar, but how do you get these feathers off?
Oh, so that what about? I thought you were going where the wild goose goes.
Hey, that's very funny. Look, I got to run along now. I'm sorry I can't hear more of that, but I got to run off and leave it, though, Jackson. I'll see you later.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute, Phil. As long as you're going down to the cleaners, I wish you'd take a few things for me.
What makes you think I'm going to the cleaners? That bundle of clothes lying on the back seat.
That's Remley.
Remley, then why have you got those two straps around them?
There's a handle on the back. It's easier to carry 'em.
Oh, yeah. Look, he's still got those labels from the time we were in London.
Now, there you go again. So long, Jackson. Goodbye, Phil. Goodbye.
Mr. Benny, I'm going to go home now.
Okay, Dennis, so long.
So long.
What a cast I've got. Dennis is stupid, Don is fat, and Phil has live luggage. Sometimes I wonder...
Oh, boss, Miss Livingston's on the phone.
I'll take it in the living room. I hear music. Hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack. I told you I'd come over this afternoon, but I won't be able to.
Why not?
Well, tomorrow's my sister Babe's birthday, and right now I'm downtown doing some shopping.
Babe's birthday, eh? What are you going to get her, Mary?
Well, I don't know. It's a problem.
Oh, it shouldn't be hard to get Babe a gift. There's so many things she hasn't got.
Jack, the things she hasn't got, money can't buy.
Oh, well, it is a problem. So it's Babe's birthday, eh? How old is she, Mary?
39.
39? Go on, she's as old as I... Oh. Well, look, Mary, while you're buying a gift for Babe, buy her something for me, too.
Okay. How much do you want to spend?
Oh, I don't know. Get her a wristwatch, or a good bottle of perfume, or a silk scarf, or a pair of stockings.
Or a half a pound of candy?
Wait till I get down to it.
I was afraid you'd pass it.
You can stop with that, too. Last year, I gave Babe a pair of gloves.
I know, but when the fight was called off, you took them back.
Took him back. Mary, if you're shopping at the May Company, tell them to take the candle out of the window. You're home.
You're not kidding. Remember Myrtle behind the lingerie counter?
Yeah?
Well, I'm going to be her summer replacement.
Good. Now, Mary, while you're there, will you... Wait a minute. Rochester! I'll have to hang up, Mary. There's someone at the door.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.
Oh, boss, your breakfast is still waiting?
Well, bring it in the library, Rochester. I'm going in and read a while. Been so busy lately, I haven't had time to do any reading. Let's see. Got a lot of new books here. Here's one. Neither 5 nor 3 by Helen McInnes. Oh, I read that. It's good, too. The Caine Mutiny by Herman Wouk. I remember him. He used to write for Fred Allen, then quit to go to war. Coward. Now, here's one. King Midas and His Golden Touch. Oh, I remember reading King Midas. Had such a sad ending. They cured him. Oh, here's a new one. I Was Shanghaied. Hey, that sounds exciting. I think I'll read it. There we are. I Was Shanghaied. As I lie here, bound in chains, in the brig of a pirate ship, knowing that in a few short hours I must walk the plank, I realize that all this happened to me only because I was Shanghaied. It all started in a little waterfront saloon in the town of San Francisco in the year 1792. I hadn't meant to go to San Francisco. I just friendlied my way there. I was about to order a drink when the bartender said to me,
Where are you from, partner?
I'm from Texas.
Texas? Where's your southern accent?
I lost it in Las Vegas.
No.
Yeah, I tried to make 2 U-Alls the hard way. Now, give me a drink.
I had just picked up my glass when suddenly a man sneaked up behind me and hit me over the head with a club. It didn't knock me out, but the room became blurred, twisted, and distorted. For a minute, I thought I was watching television. But it couldn't be. This was 1792, and the coaxial cable only went from Lexington to Concord. In fact, when Paul Revere made his famous ride, we got it by kinescope. I'll never forget. Channel 1 if by land, Channel 2 if by sea. I had two more jokes on this when I was slugged again. When I came to, I was lying on the floor, trussed up below decks on a ship at sea. After many hours, the first mate came in, untied my arms and legs, and said,
All right, you landlubber, up on your feet. There's work to be done.
Wait a minute, what am I doing here?
We shanghaied you 2 days ago in a Frisco saloon, matey.
Shanghaied me? Where am I?
You're aboard the pirate ship SS Saratan.
A funny name for a pirate ship. Why do they call it the Saratan?
We sneak up on our prey by sailing backwards.
Well, tell me.
Stow the gab, matey. There's work to be done and done quick. You'll have to reef in the topsail, get the mizzenmast or the forecastle, keel haul the navigator, box the compass, reef the jib, port the helm, and swab the poop deck.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but the censor wanted to take it out.
Look, I'm not taking orders from you. I want to see the captain.
Well, he's over by the mizzenmast, but I wouldn't go near him if I were you. He's the cruelest, most vicious, bloodthirsty pirate that ever sailed the seven seas.
I don't care. I'm going to see him anyway.
Your funeral.
As I walked across the deck, I had my first chance to see all the pirates. They were a motley crew and showed the signs of many battles. Some had long, livid scars. Some had their arms and slings. And one of them had his head missing. And yet he was singing. He was the inspiration for that song. I hear music and there's no one there. I kept looking for the captain. Finally, I found him and said,
So you're the captain, eh? I understand you're the cruelest, most vicious, bloodthirsty pirate that ever sailed the seven seas.
Ooh, am I?
Well, look, Captain, I'm going... Wait a minute. I've seen this ship before, years ago in San Francisco Harbor.
Certainly. We pirates captured it. It used to be an American warship, the USS Ulysses S. Sassafras.
The USS Ulysses S. Sassafras?
Yes, the USS Ulysses S. Sassafras.
Batten down the hatches. It's starting to rain.
Don't be silly. It's only us.
Fine buccaneer you are. I don't think you know anything about pirates.
I don't, eh? Look, I've sailed the seas under such bold pirates as Captain Kidd, Blackbeard, Jean Lafitte, and Milton Berle.
Wait a minute. What sea did you sail with Milton Berle?
The NBC. I knew you'd ask!
Never mind that. Now, look, Captain, I was shanghaied, and I want to get off this ship.
Nobody gets off this ship.
Ahoy, mates, ahoy!
You up in the crow's nest. What do you see?
There's a ship off the starboard bow. She's going around in circles.
Is she a three-master or a four-master?
A mixed-master.
What?
She shows the colors of King Ferdinand of Spain.
A Spanish galleon. Open fire!
Look, they're firing back. We're hit amidships.
Yes, he's beginning to list. Man the lifeboats. We're stinking.
That's stinking.
Don't tell me what condition the men are in.
Come on, we're not sinking. Let's get alongside the Spaniard and board her.
In the excitement, I boarded the galleon with them, and I've two fought side by side with the pirates. I realized that the ship carried a prize cargo. There were cases of Dr. Scholl's foot pads, boxes of lifesavers, thousands of cans of Circus peanuts, 5 contour chairs, and 17 Revere tape recorders. These may not seem like prizes to you, but I won't be able to get into my house tomorrow. We took many prisoners from the Spanish galleon, including the captain. And as a reward for him, by part in the fight, the pirates permitted me to question him.
So you're the captain of the Spanish galleon, eh?
Si.
And you're ready to surrender?
Si.
And we will feed you and your men. Do you like beans?
Si.
What kind of beans do you like?
Soy.
Soy?
Si.
Now cut that out. We know your ship is on a secret mission. You better tell us about it. Now talk fast.
¿Cómo no, señor? Es verdad que el mundo es redondo y por tal razón hemos hecho la vuelta del mundo muchas veces.
Oh, look out, matey. He's losing his temper. He's beginning to boil.
It was then that I recognized him. He was an old coffee pot I used to know. I tried to take command of both ships, but suddenly the men turned on me. It was mutiny. The crew picked me up and put me on the plank. And with guns in my back, there was only one thing I could do. But instead of walking, I rode off the plank on a Schwinn bicycle. This is another plug. But when you're that close to doom, you gotta think fast. I was Shanghaied.
Good night, everybody.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System. Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Tennessee, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, on next Sunday, Jack Benny will be in New York doing another television show. And right now, he's home packing for the trip.
Gee, this is my fourth trip to New York this season. I like to travel. I don't know where to live in New York. I wonder if I should stay at the Acme Plaza Hotel again. Yeah, I guess so. They're so considerate. They always give me a room with congenial people. Yeah, I guess I'll stay there. Oh, Rochester.
Yes, boss?
I hope you're packing enough clothes. You know, we'll be gone for 10 days.
Oh, yes, I'm packing up for both of us. Your pinstripe suit, my herringbone suit, your blue suit, my brown suit, your gray suit, and my tweed suit.
No, Rochester, it's my tweed suit. Remember, I won it back. You know, I beat you on that last poker hand. Don't you remember I had 4 aces?
Oh, yeah, I only had 3.
You know, it's fun playing with all the red cards wild. Now, finish the packing. And remember what I told you. Remember what I told you to put in the suitcase.
Oh, boy.
Rochester, I don't care what you say. I'm taking it with me. So put it in my suitcase. I want to wear it on my arrival in New York.
Boss, if people want to throw ticket tape, they'll throw it. You don't have to wear that old army cap.
Well, maybe you're right. Anyway, after you finish packing, go out and polish the car.
Polish the car? Why?
Why? Because we're driving it to New York.
That car?
I'm driving my car to New York. And to keep the cost down, I put an ad in the paper for passengers to share expenses. In fact, I expect several people to drop in and see me. Well, I'm waiting. How come you have no comment on that?
I never interfere with a plot line.
Thank you. Hey, maybe that's someone now. Come in. Oh, it's you, Dennis. Come on in.
Thank you.
Dennis, what do you got in that package?
My pajamas. Can I sleep here tonight?
Well, I don't see why not. But why don't you sleep at home?
Oh, I don't like to be in a big house alone.
Alone?
Yeah, my parents did it again.
Did what?
Moved away and didn't tell me where.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, Dennis, what did you do wrong this time?
Oh, if I tell you, you'll only side in with them.
Well, not necessarily, Dennis. What did you do?
I got up early this morning and fed the goldfish.
Well, why should your parents get mad at that?
I fed them to our cat.
Well, Dennis, that's the most awful thing that I've
I knew you'd side in with them.
Well, certainly. Who could be on your side?
The cat.
Now, look, Dennis, if you want to stay here tonight, you can. But right now, leave me alone because I'm busy packing.
Why? You going someplace?
Yes, I'm going to New York. See, next Sunday, I'm doing my television show.
Oh, who's going to be with you this time, Mr. Benny?
Well, I'm going to have Rochester and Mary and Bob Crosby and another special guest.
Who?
Well, I'll give you a hint. He's one of the world's greatest golfers.
Uh-huh.
He won the U.S. Open, the PGA, and the Masters Tournament in Augusta, Georgia.
Uh-huh.
And they just made a picture about him at 20th Century Fox called Follow the Sun. Now, who is it?
Ben Hogan.
Hey. Hey, that's right, Dennis.
And the name of the actor who played his part in the picture is Glenn Schwinn.
No, Dennis. That's Glenn Ford. That's Glenn Ford.
I know, but if you mention Schwinn, I send you a bicycle.
Well, Dennis, I didn't think you'd stoop so low as to... Tell him to put a bell on mine, will you? What's the matter there early? Something off in your script? By the way, Dennis, what song are you going to do on the program today?
Oh, I'm going to sing a wonderful number I just recorded for RCA Victor called Mr. and Mississippi.
Well, let me hear it, Dennis, before you put on your pajamas and go... Oh, hold it a minute, kid.
Okay.
There's the phone. Hello?
This is the long-distance operator.
Long distance?
Yes, I have a call from you from San Luis Obispo for Beanie.
Beanie? The name is Benny.
Gee, I thought I was talking to a television star.
Well, you are. As a matter of fact, next Sunday...
Here's your party.
Oh.
Hello, Jackson.
Phil, what are you doing in San Luis Obispo?
Me and my band played at one of the dance halls up here last night.
You did? How did things go?
Well, that's what I'm calling about. How would you like to do a little bail bond business?
Phil, you mean you and your boys are in jail?
I ain't calling from no drugstore.
What?
Good health to all from City Hall.
Phil, what happened at the dance that you boys got in such trouble?
Well, I get this call to come up here and play for the San Luis Obispo chapter of the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Soft-Shell Crabs.
Well, I didn't know they had a chapter in San Luis Obispo.
The main office is in Pismo Beach.
Oh.
Anyway, we come to the hall, we set up our instruments and start playing for the dance.
Uh-huh.
Everything goes along fine until about 10:30 when it's time for the waltz contest.
Uh-huh.
Suddenly someone in the crowd yells out, "Hey, Harris, how about singing That's What I Like About the South?"
Uh-huh.
Operator, you keep out of it. Go ahead, Phil.
So I start singing that little number that made me famous.
That was at 10:30.
Yeah, and at 1 o'clock in the morning with 20 courses to go, somebody dyed my hair with a ripe tomato.
No.
And before you could say spade coolie, everybody started throwing things at us. Them soft-shelled crabs are murdered.
Hey, you mean they threw soft-shelled crabs at you?
No, the crabs were throwing them, too.
That must have been quite a rhubarb.
You ain't kidding, Dad. Everybody was in there fighting but Frankie.
Frankie Remley?
Yeah, he's just sitting there unconcerned until a Hubbard squash knocks the bottle out of his mouth.
Gee.
At this, he jumps up, runs around the back of the hall, and pulls the main light switch. But they could still see the bandstand, and we're getting it from all directions.
Well, Phil, how could they see the bandstand if the lights were
My
out?
drummer's head glows in the dark.
Oh, yes. You shouldn't have painted that moon on it.
All right. And then about 2 o'clock,
Phil.
when the police came in...
Phil.
What?
Hang up.
Maybe you're right, Jackson. From here on, it just gets ridiculous. How about that bail money?
I'll send it.
Now, for 18 men, it amounts to...
I know how much it amounts to. This is the third time this year. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Jackson.
That Harris can get into more trouble than anybody I ever saw.
Will you keep quiet so I can sing?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, Dennis. Go ahead. That was very good, Dennis. Mr. and Mississippi. Would you mind sending me a record of it?
Well, you can buy one for 85 cents.
Well, what's on the other side?
Mule Train by Lily Pons.
that out, will you, Dennis? You know, Dennis, I just can't shout anymore. You know what I mean? Dennis, sometimes you say this. Now, let's see. I'll have to...
Oh, Mr. Benny.
Dennis, are you still here?
Yeah, as long as I got my pajamas, I think I'll go upstairs and go to bed.
All right, Dennis. You take the lower bunk.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's see.
Boss, you haven't got bunks in your room. It's just a single bed.
Well, he doesn't know the difference. He sleeps under it. You know? Now, come on, Rochester. Let's finish our... There's the doorbell. I'll get it. Oh. Oh, how do you do?
How do you do? Are you the little old party who advertised for passengers to New York?
Why, yes. Yes, I am. Won't you come in?
Thank you.
Have a seat, Miss...
I'm Miss Lee, Scarlett O'Hara Lee.
Scarlett O'Hara. Oh, you must have been named after the heroine in Gone with the Wind.
Yes. You see, my mother was crazy about Gone with the Wind, and I was born while she was in the middle of it.
Reading the book?
No, watching the picture.
Well, it was a long picture. Now, Miss Lee, about the trip to New York.
Excuse me, but y'all didn't tell me your name.
Benny. I'm Jack Benny.
Jack Benny? The radio comedian?
That's me.
Say something funny.
Well, Rochester, what are you doing?
Calling one of your riders.
Never mind. Now, Miss Lee, getting back to the trip, you see, I intend to leave for New York tomorrow.
Well, that suits me just fine.
Oh, by the way, Miss Lee, what are you going to New York for? Look for a job?
No, I don't need a job. I came into a lot of money when my uncle in Texas passed away.
Oh, was your uncle in Texas rich?
No, but when they were digging his grave, they struck oil.
What a way to go.
Now, Mr. Benny, on your way to New York, would y'all mind driving through Chattanooga?
Chattanooga, Tennessee? Why?
Well, that's my hometown. And next week they're holding an annual fritter fry, corn pone, chitlin, and honey possum bake festival.
Gee, I wish Phil Harris were here to interpret that for me. All I understood was and festival. Well, I'm very sorry, Miss Lee, but that's a little too far out of the way. You see, we're going through Salt Lake City, Cheyenne, Omaha, and Chicago. Wouldn't you like to go the northern route?
If you weren't so cute, I'd slap your face.
Well, you're cute, too.
I'm sorry, Mr. Benny, but I wouldn't miss that little old festival for all the yams in Louisiana.
Well, I'm sorry, too. Anyway, it was nice meeting you, Miss Lee. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Gee, I'm sorry she's not making the trip with us. We're giving me someone to play gin rummy with. Well, I better finish.
Oh, Mr. Benny.
Dennis, I thought you went to bed.
I did, but I was tossing and turning. I can't fall asleep.
Why not?
He forgot to kiss me goodnight.
Dennis, go back under the bed.
Yes, sir.
Rochester, when he goes in the room, lock the door so he won't... I'll get it. Yes?
How do you do? Are you the party that advertised about a trip to New York?
Yes, I am.
Oh, well, I'm Mr. Parsons, and this is my wife.
How do you do?
Well, come right in and... Oh, what a cute little baby. Is it a boy or a girl?
A boy.
Yeah, I thought so. Looks like it from here. Now, here, sit down, Mrs. Parsons. You must be tired carrying the baby.
Thank you very much.
Hello, baby. A kitty-kitty-goo. Oh, look. His eyes are just like mine, aren't they?
Are your eyes blue?
Bluer than the right shoulder of a left-handed iceman. Now, Mr. Parsons, do you and your wife... Oh, silly me, I forgot to introduce myself.
Oh, I know you. You're Jack Benny. I used to see you every Sunday afternoon.
You did? Oh, are you in radio?
Yes. I'm a janitor at NBC.
Well, how come you're going to New York?
CBS bought me. Now, Mr. Benny, could we take a look at your car and see if there'd be room for the baby?
Well, of course, certainly. It's right out in the driveway. It's right this way, folks. Well, here's the car. What's wrong with the baby?
Mr. Benny, is this the car you're driving to New York?
Yes, and if you'd like, I'll give you a demonstration. Oh, Rochester!
Yes, boss?
I want to take these people for a drive.
Coming!
Now, come on, folks. Jump in.
We'll have to. There's no door.
It's around on the other side. Come on. Now, go ahead, Rochester. Start the car.
Yes, sir.
Something's wrong with the motor. Rochester, did you clean the spark plugs this morning?
I not only cleaned them, I had a long talk with them.
Never mind. Try it again.
Yes, sir.
Ah, there we are. Now, Rochester, drive down towards Sunset Boulevard.
Oh, wait a minute, Mr. Benny. Before you start, I'd like to change places with my wife.
Why?
I'm afraid she's uncomfortable, and I think I have the softer orange crate.
It's quite all right, John.
See how nice she runs? The way she takes the bump? Isn't it nice with the top down?
Yes, it is.
John, look at the baby. He's grown hair.
That's mine. It blew off. Don't drive so fast, Rochester. Now, take it a little easier.
What was that?
Our tail light just fell off.
That's all it was. I guess it wasn't on very tight.
What was that?
One of the hubcaps.
Well, you see, those are things that we can easily...
Well, there goes the fender.
Well, for heaven's sake, aren't you going to stop and pick them up?
No, later we turn around and follow them. That's where we find our way back home.
Rochester, stop making things up. These people are interested in taking the trip with me to New York.
Mr. Benny, I don't think we'll be interested in making the trip in this car.
Just a minute, Mr. Parsons. You shouldn't back out just because a few minor things went wrong. That could happen to any car.
I'm sorry, but I wouldn't risk going another block in this old junk.
Old junk? Look, it's not brand new, but they don't make cars like this anymore.
Mr. Benny, I'm a janitor, and I've swept up better things than this.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, look, Mr. Parsons.
Mr. Benny, I don't want to argue about it. Come on, honey, let's get out of the car. We'll take the bus.
Yes, dear.
Some people can never be satisfied.
You're right, boss. You'd think they'd at least give the car a fair trial.
A fair trial?
Yeah, we ain't out of the driveway yet.
Oh, well, come on. Let's push it back into the garage. Happy Mother's Day, and good night, folks.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System. In just a half hour, Jack Benny will do his television show. But right now, it's time for his radio program. With Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, as there are only two more programs left in the current Lucky Strike series, at this time I would like to pay tribute to a man who for the past 37 weeks has brought joy and happiness into millions of American homes.
Don't forget the 569,000 trailers, too.
A man whose wit, charm, and personality have endeared him to the hearts of his public.
Keep going, Don. We have a half hour.
A man who every year at this time picks up our options, and here he is, Jack Benny!
Thank you. Hello again. This is Jack Benny talking. And, Don, since you brought the matter up, I suppose you received the contract I mailed you for next season.
Yes, I did, Jack, and I'm not quite satisfied with some of the clauses.
Huh?
After serving you faithfully for 17 years, I'm surprised that you had the effrontery to present me with a contract that was not only insulting, but relegates me to a position that no self-respecting man would accept.
Well. And just what is your complaint, Mr. Wilson?
Well, now, here's the situation, Jack. You get a lot of laughs at the expense of my being fat.
Uh-huh.
And this year, my weekly salary has been at the rate of $2 a pound.
Uh-huh.
So I think it's only fair that next year I get $3 a pound.
$3 a pound. Don, I wouldn't give you $3 a pound if all your fat was trimmed off and you were hanging on a hook. Anyway, the raise I offered you is as high as I can go. Now, what do you say?
I can't sign the contract now, Jack. I'll have to talk it over with the little woman.
Oh, you and the little woman. Haven't you got a mind of your own?
Yes, but I respect my wife's opinion. I'm very devoted to her.
I see.
After all, I'm home with her every day except Sunday.
Well, I can fix that, too. Now, look, Don, I've been very fair about this whole thing, and Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack. What are you talking about?
Oh, Don isn't satisfied with his new contract for next season.
He isn't?
No.
Oh, my goodness, and after all you've done for him.
Well, that's the way it goes, Mary. There isn't much gratitude in this business.
Why, Don Wilson, you ought to be ashamed.
Never mind, Mary, never mind. Thanks just the same. By the way, have you read your new contract?
Yeah. What are you trying to do, bring back slavery?
Oh, so I'm going to have trouble with you, too. Now, what's wrong with your contract?
I don't like Clause 7.
Clause 7? Oh, Mary, it only happens around Thanksgiving.
I don't care. If you buy a turkey, kill it yourself.
Mary, can I help it if I'm sentimental?
You're not sentimental. When you pay for a whole turkey, you hate to chop anything off.
Oh, stop.
Sentimental. You even use the head for badminton.
I stopped doing that. I couldn't stand the way it came over the net, staring at me. Anyway, Mary, you got a lot of nerve complaining about your contract. After all...
Hiya, Jackson. Hiya, Don. Hey, live there.
Hello, Phil.
Hey, Phil, it's about time you got here. What made you late?
Well, it ain't my fault, Jackson. I had plenty of time to get here, but just as I left the house, Alice fainted.
Oh, my goodness. That must have scared you to death.
No, it happens every time I kiss her goodbye.
Oh, brother.
That's what she said as she hit the floor.
Phil, do you really have that effect on Alice?
Jackson, she won't even let me shave with a mirror. She don't want my love divided.
Phil, if I paid you by the pound, your head would ruin me. Now, look, Dennis isn't here yet to sing his song, so pick up your baton. Let's have a band.
Jackson, I ain't making with that downbeat till I talk to you about that new contract you sent me. My lawyers don't like it.
Your lawyers? Who are they?
Kirchy, Kimmick, Fletcher, and Fink.
Well, Phil, just what is it you and your lawyers object to in the contract?
We don't like the clause that says I got to get to bed on Saturday night before 3 a.m.
Well, it's for your own good, Phil. After all, you have a program to do on Sunday. I want you to look bright and fresh.
I know, but if I lose that red glow in my eyes, I ain't got no personality.
Phil, I've been playing badminton with a turkey head for 2 years, and it looks better than you do. See, the way I shouted that gag, it should have got a bigger laugh. Anyway, I'll talk to your lawyers about your contract later, but right now, let's have a band number.
Okay, Jackson, what would you like to hear?
Guy Lombardo, but I'm stuck with you. And now, ladies and gentlemen...
Hey, wait a minute.
Huh?
Look, all year you've been picking on me and my musicians. Why don't you leave the boys alone just once? Especially on this of all days.
Well, what's so special about today, Phil?
It's Petrillo's birthday.
Petrillo's birthday?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Caesar. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, isn't that sweet? Phil, believe me, I don't enjoy insulting your boys, but look at them. No jackets, no ties, collars open. What a way to come to a broadcast.
Jackson, it's the middle of May. The weather's hot. They're just trying to keep cool.
Trying to keep cool, eh? Then why is Bagby, your piano player, wearing gloves?
Because he don't want to leave these fingerprints on nothing.
Well, Phil, if they haven't caught him by now, he's safe. Believe me. So will you do me the courtesy, Phil, of asking Sir Charles Bagby to remove his gloves when your band accompanies Dennis Day in his song?
Say, Jack, where is Dennis?
I don't know, but I hope he gets here pretty soon. I want to talk to him about his new contract for next year.
A new contract for Dennis? I thought you had him signed up till he just fades away.
Well, I have, Mary, but I added some new clauses.
Hey, Livy, you should have seen the clause he sneaked into my contract.
Never mind.
What was it, Phil?
If I ever find a dime, before I can spend it, I got to call Jackson and find out if he lost one.
Phil, I just did that for a gag. Where's your sense of humor? Hey, maybe that's Dennis. I'll get it. Hello?
Oh, Mr. Benny, this is Rochester.
Hello, Rochester. What do you want?
I've been listening to the program, boss, and it occurred to me that we haven't discussed my contract yet.
Well, Rochester, you've been working in my house for 14 years, and I feel that there's no necessity for a written contract. Now, everything is perfectly clear, and we have what is known as a verbal agreement. Now, that means we have a mutual understanding. Why put things on paper? The amount of money involved is too small.
That's what I mean. Let's blow it up a little.
You'll be taken care of, and believe me, Rochester, there's no necessity for a written contract.
But my attorneys advised it whereas and to wit.
Your attorneys, who are they?
Remus, Bemis, Calloway, and Smythe.
Oh, well, tell Remus, Bemis, Calloway, and Smythe to get in touch with Kirchie, Kimmick, Fletcher, and Fink. Let them handle it.
It's the same firm that got a branch on Central Avenue.
Oh, well, anyway, Rochester, you've got nothing to worry about. I'm giving you a substantial raise next year.
Substantial?
Yes, you know what the word means, don't you?
I ain't illiterate. I'm skeptical.
Well, you're getting it, so don't let it bother you. I'll see you later. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh, say, boss.
Now what?
Are you still going to have company for dinner tomorrow night?
Oh, yes. I'm glad you reminded me, Rochester. You better run down to the store and get a leg of lamb.
A leg of lamb? Why don't you get a turkey?
Why?
After dinner, they might want to play badminton.
No, just get a leg of lamb and a small squab. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I don't know what Rochester's worried about. I've always taken good care of him.
Oh, hello, everybody.
Hello, Dennis.
Hi, kid. Dennis, how come you're so late?
I was out in the hall reading my contract with the new clauses in it.
Oh, then you got the contract.
Yeah, this is one Irishman who ain't smiling.
All right, Dennis, what's wrong with it?
A lot of things, but especially Clause G.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Dennis, you don't have to worry about Clause G until you're 65.
I know, but why should I give you 10% of my Social Security?
Because I'll be 72 then, and I'll need it. That's why.
Jack, I can't understand you. You've got a ridiculous clause in my contract, too.
What's he got in yours, Liv?
If my sister Babe ever gets married, she has to buy the ring from him.
Oh.
Mary, if your sister Babe ever finds a man who will marry her, not only will I give her the ring free, but I'll play Oh Promise Me at the wedding. I'm sure that...
I'll get it. Hello? Yeah, this is Phil. How are you, kid? Huh? Oh, just a second, I'll ask you. Hey, Jackson, it's Kenny Baker.
Kenny Baker? What does he want?
He found a dime. Can he spend it?
Now, cut that off. There was no one on the phone. You and that smart Alex sound man. Now, look, Dennis. You came in late, but we won't discuss that now. Just sing your song.
I'm not going to sing till I get a better contract.
What's the matter with everybody? The quartet didn't want to sing. You don't want to sing? What's gotten into you?
I know my rights. I've been speaking to my lawyers.
Your lawyers? Who are they?
Beagle, bagel, cream cheese, and lox.
Beagle, bagel, cream cheese. Beagle, bagel, cream cheese, and lox?
Beagle has a hole in his head.
That does it. Dennis, I've given you your chance. I'll get somebody else to sing.
Oh, that's what you think. You can't get anyone else to sing on such short notice.
Never mind that. Say, Phil.
Won't you come with me to our family? Let's go.
I don't want to.
Now, Bob Crosby's rehearsing down the hall. Go over and get him.
Gladly, Jackson, gladly.
On second thought, maybe Mary better go. You might run into an old corkscrew, you know. Mary, would you mind going? Bob Crosby is in Studio B.
Oh, sure, Jack. Gosh, CBS is crowded on Sundays. Hello, Amos. Hello, Andy. Oh, hello, Gracie. Hello, George. Hello, Edgar. Hello, Charlie. Hello, Fibber. Hello, Molly. Whoops, must have walked too far. Maybe they're just visiting some friends here. Oh, here's Studio B. I think this is where the Campbell Soup program is rehearsing. Oh, there's Bob out on the stage.
All right, fellas, let's go through that number once more. Steve, that was wonderful, fellas. You can take 5 now. Take a break, huh?
Oh, Bob.
Oh, hello, Mary.
Gee, Bob, that was a beautiful song.
Well, thank you.
You know, it's amazing. I closed my eyes when you sang, and you sounded exactly like America's #1 crooner.
No kidding? Did I sound that much like Gary?
Bob, if you've got a minute, Jack would like you to step over to our studio.
You know, that's a coincidence. I was just going over to see him myself. You know, I'm a little peeved with him. You know, he's making it hard for me to sing.
Well, I don't understand. How can Jack make it hard for you to sing?
Well, I can't hit the high notes anymore. He puts too much starch in my collars.
Oh, well, that's Rochester's fault. Jack's the rough, dry man. Anyway, Bob, he'd like to have you sing a song on his program.
Today?
Yeah, right now.
Okay. Say, fellas, I'll be back in a few minutes.
Well, Jack's studio is right down the hall, Bob.
I know, but just a second. I've got to do something.
Bob, you punch a time clock?
Brother Everett makes me.
Oh, well, let's go. Gee, it must be kind of embarrassing having to punch a time clock.
Yeah, Brother Everett's always pushing us around. You know, sometime I'd like to get even with him.
Oh, we shouldn't complain about relatives because... Say, I just got an idea. Is Everett married?
No, why?
Well, I have a sister who's single, too.
Look, Mary, I just want to get even. I don't want to get ahead of you.
Oh, well, here we are.
And furthermore, Dennis, I think you should know that... Oh, hello, Bob.
Hello, Jack.
Did you want to see me?
Yes, come right in. By the way, do you know any of my gang?
Why, sure. Where's Don Wilson?
Any place you look.
Well, hello, Bob. Hiya, Rob. Hiya, Phil. Say, did you pay your respects? Yes. My boy sang it a few moments ago.
Yes, and Bob, this is Dennis Day.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Dennis.
I've got 2 shows. What do you got?
Well, I've got 3 brothers, Larry, Everett, and Daddy Warbucks.
Hey, that's pretty funny.
There!
Jack, what's bothering Clancy here?
Don't mind him, Bob. He's just jealous because I want you to sing a song on my show.
Sing? Well, I don't know, Jack.
Oh, it's strictly business, Bob. I intend to pay you.
Oh?
Now, how much do you get for singing a song on the radio?
$3,000.
Bob, I'm going to ask you that question again, and this time don't ad-lib.
Well, I'm not ad-libbing. That's my price, $3,000.
Gee.
Well, all good singers get that much.
Where? Who? When? Where?
Nellis, sit down. Sit down.
Well, Jack, do you want me to sing or not?
What'd you say, Bob?
You want me to sing or not?
Now, don't be hasty, Bob. Now, for $3,000, you sing both the verse and the chorus of a song, don't you?
That's right.
Now, Bob, most people don't know the verse anyway. What would you charge for just a chorus?
$2,000.
Well, we wouldn't need a whole chorus. You see, the Sportsman Quartet just sang. Now, how much would you charge for, say, 16 bars?
$1,500.
Gee, that's almost $100 a bar.
And they're worth it, Dad.
You keep out of this. Bob, can't you give me something a little less expensive?
Well, for $10 I can crack my knuckles in C sharp.
Look, I'll tell the jokes, you see. Right now, we're discussing business. Anyway, Bob, we shouldn't haggle about prices in front of the audience. It makes you look cheap. Sing your song, and I'll give you $500.
Not me, Jack.
But, Bob, it's silly for 2 old friends to argue like this. Go ahead and sing. We can settle it later in court, you know. Go ahead.
All right. I'll go get my musicians to accompany me. Now, wait a minute, little brother. Yeah? What's the matter with my boys? Your boys? Yeah, they're just waiting for the downbeat. Phil, I don't want to insult your boys on this of old days. But I wouldn't let your band accompany me if I were blowing a safe. Now, just a minute, chicken gumbo. There's nothing wrong with my musicians. Oh, no? No.
Hit him, Phil.
Dennis, be quiet.
You got a lot of nerve, Crosby, coming over to make trouble. I was asked to come over here.
Who asked you?
You did.
Oh, yes. Now, look, Bob. I'll give you the money you want, but for that, you'll also have to appear on my television show.
Well, I'd love to do that, Jack. When does your television show go on?
In just about 3 minutes.
3 minutes?
Yes. And if you'll excuse me, I got to rush over and put on my makeup. See you later, Bob.
Say, Mary, besides Jack and me, who else is going to be on the television show?
Well, I'm going to be on it in Rochester, and the greatest golfer in the world, Ben Hogan.
No. Ben?
Yes, Bob, and it's a real cute show. This is the way it's going to open. The first scene is in Jack's house in Beverly Hills. It's early in the afternoon. A lot of things happen, and then I come in to pick up Jack, and we go to the country club. That's where we meet you and Ben Hogan, and we all go out and play golf.
Now, Rochester, hurry and finish making me up. My television show goes on in 30 seconds.
I am, boss. Hold still. I gotta put on a little more makeup. A little more. There may be a lot of close-ups, so I want to cover up all the wrinkles. There, that ought to do it.
Is it dry?
Yeah, but don't smile. Your face will crack like a sidewalk.
I won't. Oh, darn it, I smiled. Good night, folks.
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Bob Stevenson, pinch hitting this week for Don Wilson.
Ladies and gentlemen, last week Jack did his fourth television show in New York and is now back in Hollywood for his radio series. Many of you probably wonder how he keeps fit with such a strenuous schedule. So let's go out to Beverly Hills and see how our little star keeps in shape. Right now, he is standing in front of the radio doing his exercises.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Relax.
Gee, that was a tough one.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, before continuing, if you find that these exercises are bringing you good health and give you that great-to-be-alive feeling, show your appreciation by patronizing my sponsor, the Continental Steam Shovel Company.
Steam shovel?
You haven't lived until you've built your own freeway.
Gee, that must be fun.
And now for our next exercise, which I will read to you from my book of health. First, fold your arms.
Uh-huh.
Now bring your left wrist past your right elbow so that your right shoulder is in line with your left hip. Now pull through with a twisting motion and loop around the lower end, thus leaving the right side free. Now grab the free side, bring down under, pull back, raise to the center, and follow through, passing the left shoulder with the right arm.
Well, I made it.
Oh, heavens to Betsy. I picked up the wrong book. I just gave you directions for making a pretzel.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, how am I going to get out of this? Rochester!
Here I am, boss. Did you... Boss, what happened?
Never mind what happened. Untangle me.
Where do I start?
Well, first straighten up my head.
Where is it?
I'm standing on it.
Oh, yes. Boss, you're really twisted up. How did it happen?
I'll tell you later. Now, just straighten me up and for heaven's sakes, hurry.
Don't get excited, boss. If I can get your head free, the rest of your body will snap back into place. Now, let me get a good grip on your head. Ah, there you are, all straightened up.
Thanks. I certainly feel... What was that?
Your nose, it was caught in your keychain.
Oh.
And now for the next exercise.
Oh, no, you're not going to get me again.
Boss, maybe this exercise will do you some good. Why don't you try it?
I'm not taking any chances. I'll listen to it first.
To begin this exercise, stand erect and follow me. Put your arms down at your sides. Now raise your arms out from the sides until they're level with your shoulders. Now let them down. Now raise them up, down, up, down, faster, up, down, faster.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now conclude this lesson as your instructor just flew out the window.
Flew out the window?
Tomorrow's program will come to you from Capistrano.
Rochester, turn that off.
Yes, sir.
It's the last time I'll ever listen to that time. I'll get it. Well, hello, Phil. Hello, Jackson. What's the matter, Phil? Don't you feel well?
Well, I feel all right, I guess.
Well, what's wrong?
Oh, nothing.
Well, come on inside, Phil.
Yeah, okay.
Here, sit down.
Thanks.
Now, come on, Phil, tell me. What's wrong?
Well, I'd rather not talk about it.
Phil, don't keep it to yourself. Tell me what's wrong.
Remley's quitting my band.
Good.
Don't say that, Jackson. I'm hurt. Hurt to the quick.
But, Phil...
Well, you see, Remley's been with me for so many years. He's grown gray in my service.
Wait a minute. Frankie's hair isn't gray.
Not his hair, his skin.
Oh, yeah, I noticed the grayness of his skin, but I thought he was just dusty. But then you had musicians quit you before. Why carry on like this?
Well, it wasn't just business between me and Frankie. It was more than that. Do you know that it was due to Frankie that I first met Alice? It was at a party.
Oh. Frankie introduced you to Alice?
Not exactly. I saved her from falling when she tripped over him.
How romantic. Well, Phil, what's Frankie going to do? Is he going to join another band?
No. He's getting out of the music business completely. He's going to buy a farm with 100 cows.
Oh, then he'll probably make a living selling milk.
Milk? Is that what them cows give?
Certainly.
Well, let me hit that phone. I got to tell Remley.
Phil, let me handle it. Maybe I can get him to come back. I'll call Frankie. Hello, Frankie? This is Jack. Now, Frankie, how about you changing your mind and coming back to Phil's band? Huh? Yeah, he feels terrible about losing you. He's standing right next to me now, and he's crying. Oh, yes, he's really crying. Each tear has a little head on it. You will? That's fine. Goodbye. Phil, I've got good news. Frankie is... I can't understand. I only talk to him on the phone. So Frankie says he'll stay with your band.
Oh, joyous day. Hey, thanks, Jackson. I never could have believed you could have fixed...
Come in. Mary.
Hello, Jack.
Hey, how you live?
Hello, Phil. Who hit you in the face with a glass of beer?
He's been crying. Mary, you're a little early. I'm not supposed to be at the doctor's office for an hour yet.
Doctor? What's the matter with him, Livy?
Well, Jack's going overseas this summer for the USO, and he has to get a checkup and some shots.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jack, I came a little early because I got a letter from Mama, and I thought you might want to hear it.
Well, so long, kids. I'll be running along.
Phil, don't you want to hear the letter?
I'll hear it tonight on the repeat show. So long. So long.
So long.
So you got a letter from your mother, eh, Mary? What does the Yogi Bear of Plainfield have to say?
I'll read it to you. My darling daughter, Mary.
Oh, hold it a second, Mary. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Benny.
Oh, hello, Dennis.
What do you want?
Dennis, you called me.
Oh, yeah. Say, Mr. Benny, the weather is so nice. How about you going to the beach with me?
Well, it's silly to go all the way to the beach, kid. If you want to go swimming, why don't you come over here and use my pool?
Oh, I'd rather go to the beach. All the people there are crazy about me. They think I'm a great comedian and I'm very funny.
They do?
Yeah. I went swimming last week and all the people at the beach stood around watching and laughing at me.
Well, maybe it's because you look funny in your bathing suit.
Oh, bathing suit! Well, how about going to the beach, Mr. Benny? Mr. Benny?
This is Mary. Jack's banging his head against the wall.
Oh.
And Dennis, I'm sure Jack won't go with you. He doesn't like the beach.
Well, if he won't come, I'll just take my dog, Prince.
Your dog?
Yeah, we have a lot of fun. You know, throwing a stick into the ocean and bringing it back.
Oh, isn't that dangerous?
No, he can't throw it very far. Well, so long. See you soon, Mary. Mary.
This is Jack. Mary stuck her head in the Bendix.
Oh.
Now, go look, kid. If there's nothing else, please hang up.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye. That kid gets sillier day by day.
Oh, he's not so bad.
He's not, eh? Then why are they getting Idiot's Delight to be his summer replacement?
I don't know. Now, Jack, do you want me to read Mama's letter?
Oh, yes, go ahead.
My darling daughter, Mary.
Hello?
It's me again, Mr. Benny.
What do you want now, Dennis?
Well, I forgot to tell you I didn't get my salary check last week.
You didn't receive your salary check?
No.
That's funny. I made it out like the others. Everybody else got theirs in the mail.
Well, did you mail mine with all the others?
Uh-huh.
Did you have my right address?
Uh-huh.
Did you mark the zone number next to the stamp? Oh, stamp! Now cut that out! Stop already and hang up.
All right, goodbye. Hey, Dennis, wait a minute.
Now what?
As long as you're on the phone, let me hear the song you're going to sing on the program.
Okay. I've had so many requests to sing my latest RCA Victor release, Mr. Mississippi.
Never mind the plugs on the phone. It's only us, and I don't buy.
The operator might.
Never mind. Just sing.
Okay.
Dennis, that song sounded swell, even though it was over the phone. It'll even be better on the program when... Can't understand that kid. Every time I try to compliment him, he either hangs up or walks out.
My darling daughter, Mary.
What?
I'm reading Mama's letter.
Oh, I'm sorry, doll. Go ahead.
My darling daughter, Mary.
Boss, look what time it is. You'll be late for the doctor.
Say, you're right, Rochester. Are you ready, Mary?
Anytime you are.
Well, let's go. And, Rochester, you can have the evening off.
Yeah, thanks, boss. I already called my girl, Susie.
Oh, you got a date tonight, Rochester?
Yeah, we're going to Wrigley Field.
Oh, that's nice. You and Susie going... Wait a minute. Rochester, the Los Angeles baseball team isn't playing there this week. Wrigley Field is dark.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Well, come on, Mary. Let's go.
Well, come on, Jack. Dr. Grant's office at the end of the hall.
Okay. See, this building is full of doctors. Dr. Iman, eye specialist. Dr. Chester, chest surgery. Dr. Head, brain specialist. Dr. Foot, chiropodist. Dr. Smorgasbord, general practitioner. Oh, here it is, Dr. Grant. Let's go in, Mary. Mary, did you make an appointment for me?
No, just talk to the nurse. It'll be all right.
Just a minute, Mary. You've been to this doctor before. How much does he charge?
Well, Jack, he hasn't any set fee. He charges according to the patient's income.
What do you mean?
Well, if one patient makes more than another, Dr. Grant feels the richer patient should pay more. Now, go on, talk to the nurse.
Okay.
Yes, sir?
Oh, I'd like to see Dr. Grant.
Oh, you're a new patient. Who recommended you?
Recommended me? Miss Mary Livingston.
I see. Your name?
Jack Benny.
Address?
366 North Camden Drive.
Occupation?
Unemployed.
Your age?
39.
Do you have anyone to recommend that?
Never mind.
Your weight?
155 pounds.
Color of eyes?
Eyes?
They're blue, aren't they?
Bluer than the winner's tongue in a huckleberry pie-eating contest.
Wait a minute. Aren't you Jack Benny, the comedian?
I knew my last line would get you. Yes, I am. Why?
Well, a friend of yours, Speedy Riggs, is in the other office with the oculist taking an eye test.
Oh, Speedy Riggs. May I go in and say hello to him?
Certainly. Right through that door.
Thank you.
Now, read the top line, Mr. Riggs.
Yes, Dr. Cook.
Oh, hello, Speedy.
Oh, hello, Jack. Be with you in a minute. I'm just having my eyes examined.
I know.
Now, read the top line, Mr. Riggs.
Oh, Mr. Benny.
Yes, nurse.
The doctor will be ready for you soon, but I still have a few more questions to ask you.
Oh, well, go ahead, nurse.
Did you ask me the color of my eyes?
I asked you. Now tell me, do you belong to any medical plan?
What was that, Francis?
I say, do you belong to any medical plan?
Yes, I do.
Which one?
Well, the Blue Shield, the California Hospitalization Plan, the Ex-Sailors Sick Benefit Group, the Actors Mutual Health Society, the Los Angeles County Prepaid Medical Anesthesia and Ointment Program, the Linwood Poison Ivy Protective Plan, and the Mutual Cooperative Health Association. That's the $1 a day till they carry you away plan. I guess that's about all. Huh?
Well, you certainly belong to a lot of medical groups.
I know. Every day that I'm well, it's costing me a fortune.
For Christmas, he wanted me to break his leg.
Mary, you can stop with that.
You may go in to see the doctor now, Mr. Benny.
Thank you. Oh, Doctor. Look, Doctor, I'm here...
Never mind. Just come right in and take your shirt off.
Wait a minute. There's something I didn't settle with the nurse. What do you charge for an examination?
Nothing. Now take your shirt off.
Wait a minute. If you don't charge people, how do you make a living?
I keep their shirts.
Oh.
Now let's get on with the examination. Put this thermometer in your mouth.
Yes, sir.
Meanwhile, just stand behind this fluoroscope while I look at your chest and stomach. Now hold still. Well, your chest seems to be all right. Now I'll look at your stomach. Strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime. Haven't you eaten since then? Now let me look at that thermometer. Well, your temperature seems to be all right. 66.
66?
Oh, silly me, I've got it upside down. It's 99.
That's better.
I'm surprised it isn't higher.
Why?
I gave you a hot foot.
Now, look, Doctor, the only reason I came in was to get some shots. I'm going out of the country.
Good.
Never mind that. Now, how about my shot?
All right. I'll get the nurse to help me. We'll each give you a shot. That way we'll finish it faster. Oh, Miss Jones.
Yes, Doctor?
We're going to give the patient some overseas shots. Have you your needle ready?
Yes, Doctor. Let's start. Now, hold still.
Wait a minute. What are you drawing those lines on my arm for?
We love to play tic-tac-toe.
What?
I go here.
Ouch!
I go there.
Ooh. I go here.
Ouch!
I go there.
Ouch! I go here.
Ooh.
I beat you again.
Doctor, nurse.
Now let's roll him over and start another game.
Oh, no, you don't. I'm getting out of here. Oh, Mary! Ladies and gentlemen, at 7:30, my television show will be seen in the Los Angeles area on Channel 2. This is the program in which Mary makes her television debut. Besides Rochester, my guest stars are Bob Crosby and the world's greatest golfer, Ben Hogan.
Jack.
What is it, Mary?
Well, yeah, I'm a little worried. You know, I haven't seen the television show I was on, and how do I look?
Mary, you look like a doll. You were beautiful.
Oh. Well, was my performance all right?
It couldn't have been more perfect. You remembered every line. You did great.
Oh. Then why'd you say I was lousy when I asked you for my salary?
Because business is business. Good night.
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our final broadcast of the season. And as you know, farewells are always sad. And doing the final program is always sad. So without further ado, we bring you radio's saddest comedian, Jack Benny.
Thank you. Hello again, this is Jack Benny talking, and Don, you're right, I am sad, very sad. As a matter of fact, last year, on my closing program, I broke down and cried.
I remember that, Jack. It was pitiful the way you sobbed through the entire broadcast. And as we went into the final commercial, I thought your little heart would break.
Yeah.
Imagine the sponsor waiting that long to pick up your option.
2 more minutes and I'd have been a bum. Me and Bing. Anyway, Don.
My darling daughter, Mary.
Huh? Mary, what are you doing?
I'm reading Mama's letter.
What?
I was supposed to read it on the program last week, but I never got a chance. Everybody kept interrupting me.
Oh, well, go ahead. Read it now, Mary.
My darling daughter, Mary.
Now, hold it, Mary. Come in. Phil.
What are you doing here, Jackson?
What am I doing here? This is our last show of the season.
I thought we did that last week.
Last week?
Sure. I came down to see Guy Lombardo.
But, Phil, he doesn't start until next week. Oh, sorry, that was Mary's line. Go ahead, Mary, you take that. No, Mary, I'm sorry, I took away your line. You read it, Mary.
I like the way you read it.
No, you read it. No, let's take our time. You read it. Go ahead.
But, Phil, he doesn't start until next week.
No, you read it, Jack.
Phil, he doesn't start until next week.
Thank you. Now, who's going to get the other one?
Anyway, what do you want to see Guy Lombardo for?
Well, I promised I'd teach Carmen the lyrics to That's What I Like About the South.
But, Phil, he's only going to be on for 14 weeks. He'll never have time to sing all the choruses.
Well, believe me, I'm glad, Jackson. Imagine my song finishing like this. She's got backbones and butter beans, them ham hocks and turnip greens. You and me in New Orleans, and that's what I like about the South. South, about the South.
Look, Phil, since Guy Lombardo is going to be my summer replacement, tell your boys to clear their music racks. And tell Bagby that this summer he'll have to rent a room, so he better take his blankets out of the piano. And as far as you, Phil, as far as you're concerned, I wish you'd use this vacation to get a good rest, so you can come back in the fall ready to go. You know what I mean, Phil. Abstain a little, you know?
Well, you're late with that, Jackson. I ain't had a drink in 2 weeks. Not since Remley had his accident.
Remley had an accident? What happened to him?
Oh, it was horrible, Jackson. Ghastly. He was carrying a bowl full of goldfish when somebody yelled, "Bottoms up."
You mean...
Yep, drained it, sand and all.
Gee, Phil, I'm sorry to hear that about Frank. He must have been awful.
Well, he didn't mind the fish or the sand, but that turtle went down slow and took out his tonsils.
Well, how do you like that?
My darling daughter, Mary.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mary. Go ahead and read your mother's letter. I want to hear about your sister, Babe.
Okay. My darling daughter, Mary, just a few lines to tell you that the whole family came over to our house and watched you on television.
Well.
You look so beautiful that your Uncle Lou is now putting your picture on $10 bills.
Uncle Lou?
Uncle Lou.
Oh.
It was one of the best television shows we ever saw, and the reception was fine, except that during the middle of the program there was a lot of static from an electric razor. So he complained to your father, and he made Babe stop.
Oh, good.
By the way, Babe was on television last week, too, but not as long as she expected. She only lasted 3 rounds. No other news, so we're closed now. Your loving mother, just plain Bill.
She has to be funny right to the last line, isn't she? Well, now, kids, because this is the last show of the season, I think we should start handing out a little credit to the people behind the scenes.
I think so, too, Jack.
So at this point, I want to introduce various members of our staff, those who are unseen and unheard.
And unpaid.
Phil, that was unfunny. No. Anyway, ladies... Gee, I certainly gave myself a great line there, didn't I? Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I would like to introduce the man who writes and arranges all the singing commercials for our quartet, Mr. Malin Merritt.
how long have you studied music?
Oh, I've never studied music, Jack.
Well, then where did you get the experience to make arrangements for Phil Harris's orchestra?
I used to work in a boiler factory. Every summer I go there for a rest.
Well, I don't blame you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce another talented actor named Joe Kearns. You know him as Ed, the man who guards my underground vault. He's been there for years and years and years. As a matter of fact, I think I'll go down to my vault and see how he is.
Who goes there? Friend or foe?
Friend.
What's the password?
Old soldiers never die.
Oh, it's you, General Benny.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, besides being the keeper of my vault, Mr. Kearns also played the part of Joseph Collins, the man sent over by the Department of Internal Revenue when they thought I wasn't deducting enough for entertainment on my income tax. Remember when he said...
Now, Mr. Benny, believe me, we're trying to help you.
I know.
That's why the government sent me and my assistant to see you. Oh, you remember my assistant, Herbert Thompson?
Yes. How do you do?
How do you do?
As far as my tax return is concerned, I put down every cent of income. Why, I even listed the $3.75 I earned on New Year's Eve.
Yes, Mr. Benny, but you neglected to put down how you earned that $3.75, so I filled that in myself.
Well, that was nice. Wait a minute. How did you know how I earned that money?
Well, don't you remember? It was my baby you sat with.
Oh, yes. Folks, the man playing Herbert Thompson is another fine actor named Will Wright. Goodbye, Will.
How do you do?
Don't milk it. And now, folks, another actor whose appearance on this program is always greeted with laughter. Because he's one of the...
Bud. Bud.
Huh?
Come here a minute.
Who, me?
Yeah.
What do you want?
What actor are you going to introduce now?
Frank Nelson. What?
Introduce Sheldon Leonard.
Why should I introduce Sheldon Leonard now?
Because that's me, and I just laid 6-5. I'd come in ahead of Nelson.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the man who plays the part of our tout, Sheldon Leonard. And now, Mr. Leonard, will it be all right if I introduce Frank Nelson?
Okay, it's your show.
Well, thank you very, very much. At this moment, folks, at this moment, I'd like to present Frank Nelson. Let's see, where is he? Oh, Mr. Are you Frank Nelson, the radio actor?
I've got 2 kids who think I'm funnier than you are.
All right. I just want people to meet you. But you know, Frank, it's strange. Whenever I run into you on my program, you're always so antagonistic toward me.
Yes.
Well, look, Frank, that's just on the program. But in real life, do you really hate me? Do I? Thank you, Mr. Nelson. Ladies Ladies and gentlemen, lots of times when the scene of a program is in my home, I try to relax by listening to the radio. And there's one girl named Blanche Stewart who really drives me nuts whenever she sings. I'll see if I can tune her in right now.
On top of Old Smoky, another snow. I lost my true lover, for talking so slow. For talking so pleasure, and falling is grief. And for
That's enough. Turn it off, Bill.
Oh, she's good. She's good.
I'll turn it off myself. Ladies and gentlemen, a radio program is only as funny as the writers make it. And I happen to be fortunate enough to have 4 of the greatest, most talented, most original, most versatile writers in the entire industry. Mary, introduce my writers.
Well, why don't you introduce them?
Every time I look at them, I get sick. All right, I'll do it. My writers are Sam Perrin, Milt Josephsberg, George Balzer, and John Tackaberry. And now next, I'd like to introduce...
Wait a minute, Jack. Aren't your writers going to come out and say something?
No, Mary. They can write, but they can't read. How they do it, I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, working in close cooperation with me and the writers is our little script girl, Jeanette Iman. Hello, Jeanette.
Hello, Blue Eyes. I'm going to miss you this summer.
She can't type, but she's a good secretary. You know, folks, all the people I introduced here tonight will be with us again next season, as well as my regular cast.
Me too, Mr. Benny?
Yes, you too, Dennis. And don't do anything silly right now, because I was just going to talk about you.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. I was going to say that you're talented, clever, versatile, and you're looked up to as one of the finest personalities in radio. And you know what that means coming from me.
Yeah, when you're all washed up, you want me to give you a job.
Look, Dennis, it's time for your number. What's it going to be?
Too young.
Thanks.
It's not about you.
Oh, all right. Sing it. That was Too Young, sung by Dennis Day.
And darn good, too.
Dennis, come here a minute.
Yes, sir?
How many children in your family?
Only 2. Me and my older brother. You've met him.
Oh, yes. He would have made a wonderful only child. And ladies and gentlemen, there are two telephone operators on my program whom you've enjoyed many times. B. Benaderet, who plays the part of Gertrude, and Sarah Berner, who plays the part of Mabel.
Jack, I don't see the girls around.
You don't? Well, then maybe they're still at the switchboard. I'm doing Fred Allen now. I just wanted to know that. I'll pick up the phone and find out.
Oh, Mabel, what does the gate say? Mr. Benny's line is flashing. Yeah, I wonder what the brave bull wants now. I have a cold. You answer it. Let him wait. I had a date with him last week to go to the movies, and he kept me waiting 2 hours. I'd have got awfully tired if I wasn't sitting down. Sitting down? Yeah. When Benny takes you to the movies, he meets you inside. Yeah, I know what you mean. He's a slick one. Once he took me up on Mulholland Drive, shut off the motor, and then he said, "You know, honey, my back itches. Would you mind rubbing it for me?" So, then he said, "I want to take my shirt off. Would you mind closing your eyes?" All right, so you closed your eyes and rubbed his back. Rubbed his back? Nothing. When I got through, I found out I Simonized his car.
Operator.
Hey,
folks, I really did want you to meet him, but I guess the switchboard is busy. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce one of the most versatile actors in radio, Mel Blanc. As you may or may not know, Mel plays several parts on my program. For instance, when I come downstairs in the morning and walk into my den, he looks at me and says, "Oh, hello, Polly."
Hello.
Many times, the Polly had to listen to me take my violin lesson. But Polly never complained because she knew my French violin teacher was also Mel Blanc.
No, Monsieur Benny. How many times must I tell you it is not da 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 da? You must slide. Do, do, do.
Then every once in a while on my travels, I have to take a train. And at the railroad station, again, you hear Mel Blanc.
Train leaving on track 5, boy, and I'm Azusa and Coot.
Then sometimes I have to... Yes. Then sometimes I decide not to take the train and go by automobile. And when I get in my car and step on the starter, do you hear the motor? No, you always hear Mel Blanc. Now, Mel, how about saying hello to the folks in your natural voice?
Well, I prefer that is, Doc, I mean, I want to,
Well, you know where you...
And slow that fella.
Mel, now what's the matter? Huh?
Hey, I forgot what my own voice is like.
You forgot your own voice? Well, that's silly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mel, all of you. Well, folks, the program is almost over, and it looks as though we brought everybody on for an introduction, excepting... What was that? Oh, yes, I almost forgot. Our sound men, Gene Twombly and Cliff Northness. And now, fellas, as I look in the glass-enclosed control room where engineer George Foster feeds this program to the network, I see my producer, Hilliard Marks, making frantic motions that we, Say, if Mary can make a mistake, I can make it. Making motions that we should speed it up. So, sound men, please ring the phone. Thank you. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Benny. This is Rochester.
Oh, hello, Rochester. Have you got my car ready for my trip to New York?
Almost, boss. I'm looking for a piece of cheesecloth so I can strain the oil into the crankcase.
But, Rochester, last time you poured the oil right out of the can. You didn't bother to strain it.
I know, and when you drove away, the exhaust pipe kept spitting sardines.
Oh, yes, I remember. Well, so long, Rochester.
Goodbye. Oh, say, boss.
Now what?
Well, never mind. Forget it.
No, what is it, Rochester?
Well, when you go to Korea, aren't you leaving from the West Coast?
Uh-huh.
Then why are you making such a long trip to New York first?
I want to do a little shopping at Macy's and Gimbo.
Oh, yeah. Goodbye.
Wait a minute, Rochester. Haven't you got something funny to say about that?
Well, I have, boss, but this is the final program of the season, and I'd like you to have the last laugh.
Well, thank you, Rochester. Goodbye. Good night, everybody, from all of us.